Grounded. We're grounded.
We're
We've got our
grounded.
feet.
The Congress Party, big stakes for the Congress Party. I'll get to Pallavi in just a moment, but this is how the leaderboard is looking. Our magic wall is looking. This is the position 2018 when the last time these 5 states went to polls. The Congress had won Madhya Pradesh, but the BJP managed to wrest it back from the Congress. The Congress had won Rajasthan. Big stakes battle for Ashok Gehlot there in Rajasthan. The Congress had won huge 2/3 majority in Chhattisgarh in 2018. Can Bhupesh Baghel come back for another term? And Telangana, of course, again, 88 seats, almost 90 seats, 2/3 majority there as well for the BRS. Can they come back for a 3rd term? Rahul, opening comments.
Well, macro picture. Let's look at what's on test. On test is the Congress Party's position as the dominant national anti-BJP pole and its own standing in the India bloc as we go forward. I think that is really the baseline. For the BJP, once again, this is an hour of looking at whether the Prime Minister and the over-reliance on the Prime Minister is going to actually make that difference for them, or are they going to sorely miss projecting some important leaders in Rajasthan, in Madhya Pradesh, even in Chhattisgarh, and of course, not having built that sort of second line because they've had to draft in, as you know, several of their big heavyweights to come out there and try to push them across that finish line. So those are the 3 things. And of course, which we'll get into, the 7 M's of this election.
He's been obsessed with the 7 M's for a while now, but with that, let's get back to the helicopter view with my colleague Ananda Suman.
Well, I've got the top-down view. They're saying they're looking at it bottoms up, and then we also have the grassroots with Aman and Pallavi. We'll get to that. But the hard facts, the brass tacks is whether the voter will take the right stand. See, we're plugging in our shows also, ladies and gentlemen. But this is the signpost. Let's try and signpost some of the important factors. The alphabet of politics, the M Boleto with Rahul Shivshankar in just a bit. But this is what it is. It's the semi-final before the mega final. 5 states that will set the stage for 2024. 679 seats overall are up for grabs. It's a direct Congress versus BJP fight. Now, this sets the tone for BJP and the Congress, especially the Congress. In 3 states, they're fighting neck to neck, head to head. And whoever gets their nose up will also have their tail up for 2024. The impact on 83 Lok Sabha seats, although many would say that what happens in the state necessarily need not translate or behave in the same way when it comes to the center, because PM Narendra Modi has a different credibility and a different voter on their own. The thought process, Modi tujhse bair nahi, state mein jo bhi hai uski khair nahi, has been manifest many a time. Rajasthan, will it buckle a trend, a pattern which has gone nearly 2.5 decades? 18 years of anti-incumbency in Madhya Pradesh. Shivraj Singh Chauhan the last time around got booted up. The difference is very marginal, about 1 or 1.5% vote shares jumping here and there. Now, what do the pollsters say or do? We'll have to wait and watch. This is a state, Telangana, that's not seen anybody else but the BRS and KCR. Will they look beyond him now? Is the Congress's Wapsi there, or is the BJP going to move up from 1 seat, 7% vote share and hit double digits? We've got to wait and watch. But more importantly, the caste factor. Will that come into play? And is there going to be the entire truism, or will it continue to remain the same way? Jo nahi jati, wo jati hai. Zaka Jacob, deep dive.
All right, one big factor, one big constituency, vote bank, and Rahul Shivshankar has been talking about the big 7 M's, the Mahila M. There's a Mahila in our studios as well. We'll ask Pallavi Ghosh what she saw on the campaign trail and whether the Mahilas actually make a huge difference, particularly in Madhya Pradesh. What we have from the voter turnout figures, and this is fascinating for me, is that there were 18 lakh extra women voters. That is almost 2% of the entire electorate. That is not a small number. 2% additional voters, women, have turned up. Look at this, 2.41 crore was what the number of women who turned up in 2018, and now it's 2.72. That's 2% of the entire total electoral voter turnout in the state of Madhya Pradesh. What sort of bearing will this have, Pallavi Ghosh? Because both parties are claiming the women are turning up for us.
Madhya Pradesh, I would find it very, very interesting, Jaka, because when I travelled there, I found that anti-incumbency was not so strong among the women. I mean, I went to Budni, which of course is his constituency, and no surprises there. Obviously, they're going to be completely floored by Shivraj Singh Chauhan. But in the other areas, what I found was very interesting was that obviously there was a whisper campaign which said that Mamaji may not become the CM in case the BJP comes back to power. So there were women who were telling me that, Ladli Behna Yojana, itna acha yojana hai, if Mama ji nahi rahenge, to kya hoga? I think that was a feedback which went back to the party, and suddenly you had the Prime Minister, the Home Minister and party leaders talking about the Ladli Behna Yojana to make the point that this Yojana does not belong to Mama ji, it belongs to the entire party. But I think towards the end, what I started noticing was that the Mama ji factor. The fact is that, I did find a lot of women who felt reassured by the fact that if he becomes a Chief Minister again, we don't want a Ladli Behna Yojana minus him. We want the Ladli Behna Yojana plus him. I don't know whether he's still going to be the CM just in case the BJP comes back to power. And interestingly, the Congress also started sending a large amount of women. I mean, I was staying at this hotel and close by. I found every Congress women leader suddenly flown down, from a Supriya Shrine to Ragini Nayak, Alka Lamba, because they wanted to counter this Ladli Behna Yojana. Somehow they never got this feeling that what they are announcing for women, money into their accounts, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, would be able to counter or match up to the traction, say, a Ladli Behna Yojana. And I remember someone from the BJP told me in that office कि we're going to watch the first 2 to 3 hours. अगर ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा महिलाएं बाहर निकल के वोट डालती हैं, तब तो हम safe हैं. महिलाओं ने हमें बचा लिया. So I think in Madhya Pradesh.
But the Congress has also been making a pitch for women. The guarantees, Priyanka Gandhi sort of becoming the centerpiece of the campaigning there. So the Congress is also claiming that those women are going to vote for us, like they did in Karnataka.
Absolutely. See, Jaka, I think women voters in Madhya Pradesh have traditionally backed the BJP because Shivraj Singh Chauhan launched this very popular Ladli Lakshmi Yojana almost a decade back. So women traditionally have been with the BJP. What I think happened in the Madhya Pradesh election was that after the Karnataka experiment worked for the Congress, where they offered money to women, Mr. Kamal Nath in February announced that if he comes to power, he'll give 1,500 rupees to each woman.
Yeah.
Now this happened, and this Shivraj Singh Chauhan was very quick to come up with the counter, the CM Ladli Behna Yojana. He started it with rupees 10,000. By the time of the elections, he had taken it to rupees 1,250 per month, and he has promised in the election campaign that he will ultimately take it to rupees 3,000 rupees per month. Now that's a huge promise. To give a woman 36,000 rupees a year, it's I don't know how he'll handle fiscal deficit if he comes to power and actually gives it. But I think that was a big, so when we traveled in the ground, so women said कि 1250 तो मिल रहे हैं, पर ये 3,000 भी मिलेंगे आगे जाके. So there was this, kind of allurement that this money is going to increase.
But tell me, sorry to interrupt you, tell me before we bring in Rahul Shivshankar and go across to our reporters, across which state did you find the Congress party fighting as a unit?
As one?
As one unit. Saying the national leaders, local leaders, everybody was there.
See, my problem with Madhya
Was it
Pradesh
in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, or was it in Telangana?
Digvijay Singh and Kamal Nath, the effort was showing that we were one. But I tell you that quick example, the day of that Kanya Pujan, Navami ke din, Digvijay Singh goes and gives a statement saying कि ये तो सिर्फ drama है, ये सब ढकोसला है, ये दिखावा है. Knowing very well this is something which is going to hurt the Congress party. And Shivraj Singh Chauhan incidentally gave an interview that particular day, and I remember he didn't want to talk about anything political, but when I was interviewing, suddenly he himself raked this topic up because it suits the BJP, because वहाँ पे ये धर्म, religion, आस्था, कन्या पूजन, that matters a lot. आपने उसी का मजाक उड़ाया. So I think there was a sense within the Congress party that was Digvijay Singh actually breaking a rule.
But the silent factor is I think is going to be the women vote. And let's be honest, the Congress actually hasn't walked the talk. Now you mentioned that, they've come out there and they've said that, look, we're going to give guarantees, this, that, the other. But the biggest symbolic expression of that would have to mean give more seats to women.
Right.
So where the Congress has failed completely, it hasn't given more seats.
On that note, quickly, I'm just going to up the Mahila quotient here on the News 18 mega poll of polls also. Swastika, Arunima and Payal join us. Ladies, you've traversed the length and breadth. You've been into Chhattisgarh. Arunima, what's happening there? Is Bhupesh Baghel fighting on his own? Is there support for him? Is he going to hold on? What do you think the pollsters are going to say?
So the big challenger for Bhupesh Baghel, of course, is T.S. Deo, the Maharaja. In Sarguja, which is in northern part of Chhattisgarh, it is T.S. Deo's bastion. So it all depends on how well, Congress party does in that area. He would want to throw his hat in the ring if the Congress manages to cross the halfway mark. But to give credit to Bhupesh Baghel, even though he has not been projected in so many words, so to say, as the next Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh if Congress is voted to power. And this is what Raman Singh underlined in his interview to me. He said, why is it that suddenly Baghel ki sarkar say the posters have started talking about collective leadership? Is it because they are not sure about Baghel? Is it because the Mahadev app and the other corruption charges are sticking to him? That is what Raman Singh's narrative was. But if you travel from Bastar is a microcosm in itself. Those 20 seats of Bastar are in a way the bellwether seats, because even though they are rural, they are as backward as you can think of in this country. The youth there is aspirational. And they are suddenly talking about growth, they're talking about employment, and they're talking about the price of rice. That's a key factor as well. Both the Congress and the BJP have promised the paddy procurement price at a higher level, 3,100 by the BJP. Baghel himself is confident that his promises, whatever direct benefit transfers he has made available to the tribals, and the general corruption allegation against the Raman Singh government also, that will ensure that he sails through.
True. Arunima, Payal and Swastika both are there right now in Telangana itself. But Payal, you've done Brahman. And these 5 states together account for more than 25% of Bharat, 25 to 30%. Somebody was telling me this number. So tell me, what's your take? Is there going to be a twist in the tail? Is this literally a semi-final before the final? And what is the story within the story?
I am not going to predict. I'm not going to predict anything as far as this Telangana elections are concerned. Anand, you were just speaking about the women vote. I am right now with one of the tallest BJP leaders, in the BRS. Beg your pardon, the biggest leader in the BRS poll, K. Kavita, and it's boiled down to divine intervention right now. She's currently come to a Devi temple to pray for her chances for our party. She'll be out in a bit from now. She'll be speaking to us. But like I said, there's a lot at stake as far as her party is concerned, especially for her father, the 2-time chief minister, who's probably looking at making history, becoming the 3rd-time chief minister. Will it be possible, or will there be, like you say, will there be a shame that the Congress party will be able to do over there? It's very, very important to watch out for. But nobody's taking the BJP seriously. But I've been speaking to BJP leaders, over the last 48 hours, including 48 minutes ago, and they are very, very confident that they will come to double figures, over there over here in Telangana. If the BJP is able to get double figures, then the game becomes even more interesting, because the BJP will not ally with the BRS, the BJP will not ally with the Congress. So where will the BJP votes go and who will it benefit? That remains to be seen.
Well, Swastika, quick update at your end. Do you see the winds of change blowing across Telangana? You've cast your vote too.
Well, I'm not going to hazard a guess. Yes, I did. Here it is. I'm not going to hazard a guess, but I can tell you that this is going to be a neck-and-neck fight between the BRS and the Congress. I want to add a little bit about the Congress here. In fact, just a year ago, it so seemed that the BJP was the principal opposition to the BRS here, but things have changed post-Karnataka, and a resurgent Congress under the leadership of Revanth Reddy with their 6 guarantees seem extremely confident. Women, of course, going to be a deciding factor. Muslim voters too. In Hyderabad, it's the bastion of the Owaisis. But if you go beyond Hyderabad, there is no Owaisi factor predominantly. Muslims en masse have voted for BRS. But the fear is that this time around, the minority voters could be perhaps looking at the Congress, and that, in my view, could be a game changer for any party. Besides the fact that the welfare schemes, whether it is the BRS and the Congress with its 6 guarantees, what seems to be resonating well on the ground is the fact that voters are very much aware of what they're going to get from which party. And I think as far as Telangana is concerned, it's definitely going to be an interesting fight.
Yeah, it clearly will be, and it doesn't look like a runaway mandate. Whoever will perhaps just get across the line, and it will be a clear case of the first past the post. Now, bringing it back, well done, ladies, and phenomenal coverage that you've kept the entire network, especially CNN News 18, right up ahead in our coverage of these 5 state elections. Bringing it back into the studio with a quick check on these numbers, and let's talk about this. What does this imply? A historical voter turnout. Now, in 2018, the voter turnout that was doing the rounds in Rajasthan, they voted the Congress in with a 74.7% voter turnout. This time it's gone up to 75.4%. What does that mean? Sarkar badlegi, yeah, it is perhaps an incumbent mandate. Same way, if you look at Madhya Pradesh, 75.6, again they voted the Congress in. Sarkar Badli beech mein lot of things happened because of Jyotiraditya Scindia, but many say that he may just be that factor, that Gwalior Gonda area could be the factor where things may not work for the BJP. But this time, look at the voter turnout, 77.1%, as Zaka was explaining. A lot of it because of the Mahila voter coming out in huge numbers, nearly 2% added to that voter turnout by the Mahila itself. And quickly, let's look at Chhattisgarh. Chhattisgarh again, 76.4, 74.9. So it's actually a drop, a 2% drop. Does that change things? Does that mean there is something happening there? And right now till 3 p.m. it is 51.89% in Telangana. Overall 2018 it was 73.7. So clearly the trends show that this will breach that number.
Looks
it,
like it.
It will come to about 75%. And if you look at Mizoram again, similar numbers like the last time around. So how would you people read high voter turnout, anti-incumbency, pro-incumbency, or
there is no psephological correlation between high or low turnouts and the eventual verdict on the ground. It doesn't mean that if there's a higher turnout, the chances of new voters coming in to vote out the incumbent increase. No, there is no such data. And I think...
but the standard thumb rule for the longest time has always been higher the voter turnout, greater the anti-incumbency.
It's not proven psephologically. It's just not established psephologically. So you have a look at any number.
Bengal.
And
Bengal being one example. Voter
Bengal,
turnout increased,
Gujarat,
Mamoda came back to
Gujarat.
Gujarat. But what I'm trying to say is that there is no psephological... There are enough cases going the other way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So it's a even Stevens kind of thing.
Like in Bengal and Gujarat, it was not anti-incumbency.
Even
it was
Karnataka had high voter
pro-incumbency.
turnout and it was an anti-incumbent
I think
vote,
the one way of looking at it is the focus that political parties are actually putting on building their booth
turning up
presence.
the votes.
So
turning up the
you and there is so much emphasis now on that because the BJP really elevated it to an art form. It was actually the left first that did so in Bengal, but the BJP came on very strongly on that, and now every other party has realized this whole business of Mera Booth, that slogan that is sort of used.
Who did you see
constantly.
on ground effective
I
at the
think the
booth?
Congress tried to do that because the Congress started this whole thing about booth mein, sipahi and all that stuff. And that's always been the weakness of the Congress party. And the fact is that they never could get the booth workers out. I mean, you have those big bank campaigns, rallies, but the real work is done by that booth worker. That the workers on the ground have to feel it.
For that, it's a very good point, because one of the reasons for that really is that the Congress always had a plebiscitary form of politics, as a result of which the grassroots worker always felt left out, because these paradrop leaders, etc., always felt left out, and therefore you didn't have that sort of participation when it mattered.
And the BJP in a way has mastered this art of booth management. So I think it is a BJP which is generally very happy when the voter turnout goes up, because they feel that they got their voter out. So BJP, I think if you even see Prime Minister's tweets on the day of polling, it is always encouraging more voting.
Yeah.
So BJP feels that more voters come out, it wants to bring out its own voter.
But Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh mein to dono dafa when the voter percentage went
udhar,
up in
udhar
2018,
मेरा
they
question
got
आपसे
vote
ये
out.
है कि who were the voters that were coming out, और कौन वोटर निकाल रहा था? In the sense, the local candidates, when it comes to assembly elections, it's the regional satraps, right? So in the case of the regional satraps, who was it that was more effective? See, because Vasundhara Raje, Rani Sahiba, Rajasthan, was it a mega mood against Gehlot? Or were there those who were saying कि रानी को नहीं बनाया तो सबक सिखाएंगे? Last time around, that was a case that happened. She could influence about anywhere between 30 to 60 seats, people would say. Did you see that this time around? Chhattisgarh, many would say what's happening or what people are seeing across the country doesn't mean that's what's translating on ground. So that's what I'm asking you.
See, I think Rajasthan, Anand, was a simple story that there was clear anti-incumbency on the ground. Wherever you went, people were speaking about that. There were major issues against the Ashok Gehlot government, be it the paper leak issue, be it generally corruption, be it generally also this issue of, I found this undercurrent of Hindutva as well. After the Kanhaiya Lal case, I saw the Kanhaiya Lal case was a few months ago, but that resonance of that case was, I found it across Rajasthan in many regions. Also, the other question you earlier asked, did they fight unitedly? In Rajasthan, there was no united front for the Congress. I think even people used to tell me कि ये जो photo op हो रहा है, we realize the facade behind it.
वो भी तो नहीं हुआ photo.
Photo op भी नहीं.
So do you think the Gujar vote is going to move away?
Yeah,
because last time from the BJP,
I think the swing area in Rajasthan is going to be eastern Rajasthan.
Right.
वो photo अब तो BJP में भी नहीं हुआ. वो photo अब तो BJP में भी नहीं हुआ.
Last time, the Gujar vote actually went away from the BJP.
Yeah.
So this time, because Pilot is sort of I don't know where he is actually in the party, where he stands in the party. I mean, there'll be a lot of talk. You guys will know better.
There are two regions, Rahul. I think both in Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. Rajasthan, we have to look out for Eastern Rajasthan figures. Eastern Rajasthan last time 54 seats. The BJP could only win 14 seats. That was because the Gujars in Eastern Rajasthan thought Mr. Sachin Pilot is going to become the chief minister.
In fact, if you look at the Gujar vote, I can show that on the magic wall. The pilot factor. There's about 20 odd seats, I think. 42 seats. In fact, the Congress won 27. The BJP was number 3. Others had 11. There were independents, BSP and so on. And much of this is in this Mewat region, Ajmer, Tonk, Dausa, that belt. Some of them in southern Rajasthan as well. But 27-4. That's almost like a 7-time number. Even the vote share, even though the vote share difference is only about 6 or 7%, but the number of seats, the BJP getting 4 and the Congress getting 27.
Zaka, the other metric that you should pull out for Rajasthan is also the independents, because 20% really of the seats go to independents or others.
So last time it was almost 22%.
There you go.
27 of them won.
ये सब अपना candidate खड़ा कर देते हैं ना, ticket
These are BSP folks.
helped Gehlot
That's right.
to
Arunima just wanted to jump in. She's outside. Yes, Arunima, quickly. Yeah.
So, the point that Anand, you were discussing about how much of a, cohesive unit did Congress fight like, and what about regional satraps? So, I was in Chhindwara on the day Madhya Pradesh was voting. Kamal Nath is the one who's wanting to challenge Shivraj Singh Chauhan, and there at least the Congress party, it seems, was fighting as if their life depended on it. The reason for it, in his own bastion, Kamal Nath is facing the heat from Bunty Sahu. So in this time around, at least in Madhya Pradesh, in pockets that I saw, looks like Kamal Nath is trying very hard to ensure that Congress does act like a cohesive unit. Something I may not have seen in Rajasthan. I travelled there as well. Not even in Chhattisgarh.
What about the BJP? What about the BJP in Madhya Pradesh? Arunima, if you could tell us, what do you believe, has the BJP been able to sort of square its own sights in Madhya Pradesh, especially in the northern area, Gwalior, etc.?
So, all right. So, in Madhya Pradesh, what I noticed was that, if you're talking about the Gwalior belt, before the Scindia switch happened, Mr. Tomar was considered like this undisputed leader of that region as far as the Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned. This time around, Mr. Tomar faced a scare himself. There were these videos doing the rounds where allegations were made against his son, against his family. So, there was a lot of chatter that I heard on the day of the voting about how the Gwalior belt is going to fare, and whether this, Scindia's coming to the Bharatiya Janata Party would prove to be an advantage or a disadvantage. We would know only on the third, but in the rest of the state also, it did look like that Shivraj Singh Chauhan is the only man who's putting out his 200%, even though it is not clear whether he will be the chief ministerial face if the BJP comes back to power.
But I think Scindia, both the Congress and the BJP are watching him very closely. BJP to see whether he can weave that magic. Congress because they want to take revenge.
No, but the elevation for him as civil aviation minister happened because he wove the magic when those 22 breakaways
happened. The Congress wants him to fall clear.
The way it actually fell for the Congress, 31 out of 41 seats they won last time in this belt.
That was the Scindia factor.
This was the Scindia factor. And then out of this, 19 of them walked to the other side. So when they had by-elections, I believe a lot of them became ministers also. So the point is that this belt, and I think privately even the BJP leaders sort of were worried about this belt, but then this is only 40 seats. You got another almost 200 seats in the rest of the state.
Correct.
So can they compensate for the losses here in Gwalior Chambal in the
deep
other
dive
parts?
this. Let's deep dive Madhya Pradesh.
Last time not just lost in the Gwalior Chambal region, they also lost seats in Jabalpur region. They lost seats in the Indore region. But what was Eastern Rajasthan to the how Eastern Rajasthan brought Congress to power in Rajasthan? It was Gwalior Chambal which brought the Congress to power.
Congress to power.
Same thing. The people in Gwalior Chambal thought.
I have to take a break, but the counter argument is that when the by-elections happened, Scindia redeemed himself. Out of those 22, 19 or 20.
Because there are many people in the party, I'm sure, thinking that it may be a flash in the pan.
Where the other thing is that mantris, MPs and mantris, when they are sent back to contest assembly elections, what does that mean? Vidhan Sabha, what does that mean? The first numbers also after a break. Stay with us on the News 18 Mega Polo Polls. Set of numbers on our screens. Let's chew on it a little, ladies and gentlemen. The first set of numbers are the Jan Ki Baat numbers that we are putting out here, and somewhere we are given to understand there seems to be clear mandates. We have some numbers that we already have here. Madhya Pradesh 230 seats. Wow. The median is 113, neck and neck, like Rahul Shivshankar was calling it. Rajasthan, it's going to be it's Congress. No, that's where. Let's try and look at it. I think it's a bit of a mistake there. I think the Rajasthan numbers clearly show a nose ahead for the BJP. To 125 for the Congress. That's the band that Jan Ki Baat has actually put. So that's why the median comes to about 113 to 112. Neither of them has 116. That is to win. Neither of them. It's a hung house in Madhya Pradesh if we were to go with the average numbers. Now let's quickly flip this and look at Rajasthan. What is Rajasthan number? The Rajasthan number is a clear runaway mandate for the BJP. Rani Sahiba or no Rani Sahiba, Gehlot Sahib, आपको थैंक यू कर दिया वोटर्स ने. एज पर जन की बात एग्जिट पोल, दैट इज व्हाट इट इज सेइंग. इट सेज वेरी क्लियरली 111. These numbers at all. Let's quickly look at what is it saying in Chhattisgarh. In Chhattisgarh again, a change in the mandate. Bhupesh Baghel with 40, the BJP with 47. That is what the BJP taking Chhattisgarh very clearly. That's what the BJP is saying. So we'll try and flip. We'll try and see out of the 90 seats what is happening. 47 for the Congress. Oh, it's changed. 47 for the Congress and 40 for the BJP. So that's how it is. So Bhupesh Baghel retains. Congress retains Chhattisgarh and Congress takes Telangana. As per the Jan Ki Baat numbers, out of those seats, 119 seats, 59 is the halfway mark. 56 with the Congress. The BJP has 10, AIMIM 5, BRS 48. And if that's the case, nobody is first past the post. So will the BRS, AIMIM and the BJP come together to keep the Congress out? This exit poll is exiting is what Rahul Shivshankar is saying. This is not calling their keep it really hedging their bets, or are they not calling it? Because if the BRS has to be voted out, it would be voted out overwhelmingly.
Yes,
that's what many people would say.
This is going to measure up.
Yeah, so that 59 or 60 is what you need to get. 60 wins. Telangana polling just ended, so it could change also. And let's quickly look at Mizoram. What are the Mizoram numbers saying? The Mizoram numbers are very clearly coming out and saying, the Jan Ki Baat numbers, that the MNF has a very clear mandate, and let's try and look at those numbers. The MNF has got about 10 to 14 seats. 15 to 25 is for the ZPM. So that's where it is. Congress not in the fray. So clearly BJP will claim that जो भी इन दोनों में से regional parties में से जीतेगा, they will eventually come into the NEDA fold. So they will come, but there is a change in government. So there is a change in the current disposition in the current government. There's a change that happens, but it is clearly. So on all states we are seeing some uthal-puthal. We are seeing, as far as the Jan Ki Baat numbers are concerned. How would you read it? Yes.
Write it down here. They are giving a slight edge to the Congress in Madhya Pradesh, 111 to 121. For the BJP, 106 to 116. And so basically the TV9 number is going to the Congress. Slight edge. 116 is the halfway mark. The BJP also 106 to 116. But like I said, nose ahead for the Congress in Madhya Pradesh. That's the TV9 number.
So Kamal Nath pushes past the post as far as those numbers are concerned. Possible?
Well, I think
at least a clear mandate there.
Well, I think until about 2 months back, the Congress was very, very confident about Madhya Pradesh. They thought a win was theirs. I think also a bit of complacency had come in because the Congress thought that 18 years of anti-incumbency, अब हमारी बारी आ गई, हमारे पास sympathy भी है, हमारी government है. कमलनाथ whole campaign was मुझे CM से मेरी government गलत तरीके से निकाल दी गई. So they had that sympathy going for them. That's what Congress felt. But I think the BJP made up a lot of ground in the last 2 months. It was through various factors. It was already due to Mr. Modi's campaign, Mr. Amit Shah, as Rahul was saying. Amit Shah camped there. and ensured that these differences between the leaders were eliminated. They put up 7 MPs in the fight, so they are expecting that 7 MPs अगर 7 सीट भी नहीं जीते कम से कम 3-4 सीट extra हमें उस सीट, and these are the 7 seats that BJP has not won for a long time. So I think the Scindia factor, of course, last time Gwalior Chambal went Congress way because they thought Scindia is becoming CM. This time Scindia is with the BJP, so BJP think that factor has been negated. And in the words of Shivraj Singh Chauhan, what he told us that मैंने सब Congress के promises को पंचर कर दिया.
But let me tell you, when it's this close, and if Madhya Pradesh 2 polls are calling it so close, then you have to give the advantage really to the incumbent.
Absolutely.
Now, I mean, it's debatable who the incumbent actually was, and I can tell you.
I got a third poll which is giving the advantage to the BJP. This is the RTV poll. They're giving 118 to 130 to the BJP, and they're giving 97 to 107 to the Congress. So you have 3 polls that are out. 2, I think, are giving the edge to the Congress. 1 is giving the edge to the BJP. So it's anybody's game right now.
If the BJP wins Madhya Pradesh, it's a big turnaround story for them in 3 months.
Congress did what it never does usually. They began early. They started working very early in Madhya Pradesh, and then you start losing the steam. And I think the last few days or weeks of elections are always very critical. They make or break your mind, and that's where the BJP stepped in.
But let me tell you, this is a very good point, because look, what were they really riding on? The 6 poll guarantees, right? That's what they were really riding on. They've been riding on that even in Rajasthan, and Karnataka, of course, paved the way for that. Now, if they don't work here,
so I've got another number for another state. This is the Axis number, a number that's closely tracked for Chhattisgarh. Axis is giving 40 to 50 for Congress. It's giving 36 to 46 to BJP. So Axis seems to suggest that the edge again to the Congress in this.
A lot of resorts are going to be booked if these numbers hold across these states.
And somewhere one is a little worried about which way the voter is voting. These high turnout numbers, and especially the women voters coming out, somewhere it seems to have skewed the entire matrix for a lot of pollsters. Some of the pollsters, their sample size, I would want to ask every pollster, what's the breakup of your sample?
But why only women? I mean, there are many first-time voters, young youth. That's also a very important factor.
Yeah.
In Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, that's where the quota and all those things also start coming in, Anand. So that's a
No, I understand, but I'm just saying gender-wise, if you break
jobs has been a problem.
So if you look at the poll number, it's changing, and I think you should tell our viewers this. The poll number will
there
also.
There is a reason why, viewers, the poll numbers are changing on your screen, because it's an aggregate or a median of all the pollsters that are coming in so far. So he's sending you the individual pollster numbers here. On your screens, what's happening is the overall aggregate, the poll of polls. So what you see on your screens is the poll of poll number. What we are showing now is the PMark number for Madhya Pradesh. And the PMark number for Madhya Pradesh gives the mandate clearly to the BJP. That is what they are doing. And that's why if you see the Madhya Pradesh aggregate for the BJP has gone up to 119. You see it here. And the Rajasthan aggregate remains the same at 111. So 2 states right now, as per the exit pollsters aggregate, poll of polls are with the BJP. 1 state goes to the Congress party, that is Telangana, and 1 state retained by the Congress party, and that is Chhattisgarh as of now. That's the status. So PMark is giving Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh at this point to the BJP. Let's also look at Axis My India, battle for Chhattisgarh. Axis My India, battle for Chhattisgarh. Again, the numbers are going in favor of the Congress party. Congress is going to retain, as far as Axis My India is going to retain Chhattisgarh. Rahul Shivshankar.
Pradesh numbers and an aggregate of at least 4 polls now.
Yes. An aggregate of at least 4 pollsters out of 230 seats is that the mandate is with the BJP in Madhya Pradesh, and healthy mandate. 116 par hai, you win at 116, 230 seats, 115 halfway mark, 116 to win, 119 is where they are. So they are 3 clear or 4 clear of the halfway number.
Look at Rajasthan.
Also. Rajasthan, they are running away. Rajasthan, they are actually running away because it's a clear mandate. They are at least 12 seats above what is required to win. 199 is required to win.
BJP would be thrilled with these. If this actually happens on resulted, to win MP and to win Rajasthan is huge for the BJP. These 2 states had lost the last time.
No, and look at the ground they are gaining in Chhattisgarh.
Also, I think Chhattisgarh, if they are able to run the Congress close and look at the gap from last time.
Yes.
If they are able to bridge that gap, victory. It will be a moral victory.
And double digit in Telangana.
And Telangana, they would love the house to be hung.
Super confident about Chhattisgarh. They've been super confident about Chhattisgarh. I think they're banking also on the fact is that whatever they may say, T.S. Singh Deo versus Baghel wala friction tha. And he is saying they have said it on record.
Yeah,
He
no,
said
but
it
I'll
in the
tell you
document,
what,
नहीं
predominantly-
बुलाएंगे.
It is a predominantly tribal state also. And let's not forget that there have been a huge number of problems with regards to employment generation, etc., and people not getting the benefits from what we've heard on the ground. So I don't know if that bears out, but
Can we look at Chhattisgarh, Zaka, on the wall and see how different phases voted? You know, last time around, where the votes were polled, because a lot of they said corruption is not the big issue on ground.
So in
it is the
Chhattisgarh,
rate
only
per
about
quintal that is for rice that is the issue.
20 seats, the Naxal belt, which is the southern part of the state, that's what votes in the first phase, and the rest of the state, Raipur, all the urban parts, and of course the northern part of Chhattisgarh votes in the second phase. But last time around, they swept the Naxal belt, which is Bastar, and that southern belt of Chhattisgarh was out of the 20 seats, the Congress won 17 and the BJP had only 2. Again, they say generally when a state is voting in multiple phases, even one phase the wind is going in a particular direction, it tends to go more in that direction in the second
on a
phase.
psephological
We'll have to
point
wait
here,
and see.
Chhattisgarh, the plains region, has the most number of swing seats.
Yeah.
So over 4 elections, 30% of those of the seats were won by less than 5% margin.
Correct.
So it's that area, if you just focus on it, maybe the central part of Chhattisgarh, the plains region,
So
you
if
look at
if
the
you look
margins
at
there.
This particular belt,
Yes.
this is just off the outskirts of Raipur. If you're going further north, this has always been hotly contested. The BJP still managed to hold on, even though it was a rout last time around. The BJP still managed to hold on to about a dozen seats there. If you go back to 2013, and I'm going to just show you the difference in the map, the coloring of the map between 2018 and 2013. Look at this. The Congress, it was almost like a mirror image. The Congress getting a few dozen seats in the northern part, and the BJP sort of completely running right there. 41 out of the 70 seats they won. The Congress wholly had 27 out of 70. But looks like, at least from 2 polls now we have for Chhattisgarh, 46-41 is the poll of polls
Now,
number
thing
right
is,
now.
now on the bottom of our screen, ladies and gentlemen, we are looking at 2 states which are hung, where the party which is leading the first part may not actually form the government. That's the scenario that we are looking at, because Chhattisgarh mein wahan kaleh to hoga 41 and 46, and that's exactly what we are looking at. And in Telangana, they need 4 more seats. The Congress needs 4 more seats, and who's going to give that to them if this stands? Now, this is an aggregate, what we are seeing on our screens. I'm going to repeat again, at least 4 pollsters out with their numbers, and this is the poll of poll numbers that you're seeing on your screens. So this is the overall mega aggregate of the pollsters who have said किसने किसको क्या दिया वो बात नहीं, but overall if you see BJP clearly taking Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. Where is it stuck? It's stuck with Chhattisgarh and Telangana, where although the Congress has its nose ahead, it's not past the halfway mark, it's not winning that state yet. That's what it looks
Anand,
like. How does that?
Telangana, if those numbers are sort of holding, etc., others are 0. So you have AIMM, others are 0. So how does this work out? I mean, if someone has to form the government,
Then
It'll
BRS,
have to be
BJP and
BRS,
AIMIM
BJP
have to come
and
together.
AIMIM.
and you know, there is the Hyderabad Municipal Corporation election.
Yeah.
There is a template there where all of these people were trying to get together. And
No, but if that were to
basically-
happen, then what Rahul Gandhi said in the campaign,
Yeah.
one is A team of the other, one is
Yes,
the B team
B
of the
team.
other, that's going to come true.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
don't think, at least certainly, you know, publicly they'll get
But I
into
don't
some kind
see
of a
the
post-election
OAC,
line.
AIMM,
the
Exactly,
BJP
and the
side.
BJP.
BJP backing the Congress is a different part, but OAC backing the Congress is also not going to happen.
so I think what will probably happen if these numbers hold is that the BJP and the BRS will come together. And that's how you're going to have
All
a
right, we
number.
got one
Otherwise-
more set of numbers quickly. Pollstrat, Madhya Pradesh, the numbers. Let's try and look at what Pollstrat is saying and how. Why is it that the Madhya Pradesh number? Oh, there's a little bit of a shift. BJP is now three seats down in the poll of polls, ladies and gentlemen, to 116. And let's try and understand what Pollstrat is saying. Pollstrat numbers again. In this case, don't clearly give the BJP the victory number. It is putting BJP at the higher number, exactly at the halfway mark, but it is putting the Congress party well past the post, 5 seats above the winning number of 116 at 121. And perhaps that's the reason why in Pollstrat, with the Pollstrat numbers coming into play, that the BJP's average overall has come down and it's now at 116, just at the number that you need to win the state. Is it going to be so close? Because those who are working with the BJP and within They are very confident that the BJP is taking it. If they're taking it, they're taking it to nearly 130 seats. That's how confident they are. If they are losing it, then they will not be at 116, they'll be at 106, like last time around 104. In the case of Rajasthan, it remains the same. BJP is taking Rajasthan. These two states at the bottom, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be a problem. That vote share shift in Chhattisgarh, if there is more than a 2% difference, then that seat share will not be the same. It will be different. If the BJP has, caught up with the Congress and the Congress has lost some ground, that number, that scenario should change. But, yeah.
Chhattisgarh, again, similar trend. I'm just going to write down the numbers here before our graphic comes in. They're giving it to the Congress, 46 to 56 to the Congress in Chhattisgarh, and 30 to 40 to the BJP. So I think we've had 3 polls in Chhattisgarh.
Yes.
2 have given it to the Congress, and one is sort of a hung house. But it seems like the direction in which it's moving is that the Congress might retain.
Now with this Chhattisgarh, Congress is taking Chhattisgarh. Now the number for Congress is 46, so they need 46 is the winning number, 90 seats, 45 the halfway mark, 46 is the winning number. So you got 2 scenarios right now. That is one here with the BJP right on the winning number in Madhya Pradesh, and there you've got the Congress party right on the winning number in Chhattisgarh. So this is like too close, right on the winning number. What are you thinking, Aman and Pallavi?
I think MP will be close, Anand. Even on the result day, I think these numbers, I suspect that these numbers would be similar on the result day. Last time, interestingly, in Madhya Pradesh, the BJP polled higher number of votes, but got lesser number of seats. So it is that kind of a state where, predicting it is very, very difficult. But I think what has worked for the BJP in Madhya Pradesh towards the end has been this Shivraj's mega campaign. He did 165 rallies in the last 15 days, 10 rallies a day. They had Mr. Modi there. I think the promises. And I saw Amit Shah saying that from his rallies, Modi saying that अगर ये हमारी सरकार चली गई तो लाडली बहना योजना बंद हो जाएगी.
एक बात है,
the RSS, those workers on the ground, they started going out. I mean, Amit Shah did say this to a couple of journalists also, where he said कि ना जो बिखर गया था उन सबको मैंने साथ लाया.
ओ सिनेरियो चेंज हो गया मध्य प्रदेश का. एग्रीगेट देखिए आप, बीजेपी नंबर 2. BJP number 2, Congress ahead, but 1 seat, and both of them are not there as far as forming the government. So this will keep changing, ladies and gentlemen. If you see across on the screen, and this is going to change. This is going to change. Now see how these numbers have changed here. This is critical. Rajasthan doesn't change. Congress here, Telangana, बहुत कलेश होने वाला है. It looks like it. There may be a revision here, because there is still about an hour and 15 minutes before all voting closes. 6 p.m., 6:30 p.m. is when the voting will come down, but all those who are standing outside at the booth will be allowed to poll their votes. So till about 7 p.m. the polling booths in Telangana will be open, and that will make a difference. Chhattisgarh, Congress just on the winning number. Now, if there are pollsters who give BJP the mandate going forward, other pollsters, that number could change, or if Congress continues to enjoy or hold sway, that could change. But this scenario in Madhya Pradesh, neck and neck, and no one first past the post, 5 others, resort politics again. Monies will come out, horse trading will happen,
well, if these
will happen. And who are these candidates? Are they BJP leaning, Congress leaning? Will make a difference.
If these numbers hold now, Anand, then the Congress will have reasons to cheer. Look, Telangana, they're pulling off a stunning upset. In Chhattisgarh, they're retaining. It doesn't matter. The quality of the victory doesn't matter. The fact that you won matters. And of course, in Madhya Pradesh, well, if that number holds, they're in the driver's seat. But obviously, other factors could come into play.
This is today's Chanakya. I think this is the first time we're reporting today's Chanakya number for Rajasthan. They're giving it clearly to the BJP, 112 to the BJP and 85 to the Congress, 15 to others. So I think they are very clear that there's going to be a government change as we welcome Professor Sanjay Kumar and Nalin Mehta. So the poll of polls number is changing, particularly for Madhya Pradesh. I think one thing we can fairly say is in Rajasthan, the BJP will come back to power after 5 years. And in Chhattisgarh, at least 2 out of 3 polls seem to be giving the indication that the Congress and Bhupesh Baghel will retain. Nalin first and then Professor Kumar.
So I think if there's one state that the BJP has been fairly confident of in private and public conversations, it's been Rajasthan, and this has particularly been the case ever since some of the loyalists of Vasundhara Raje were given tickets and so on. So I think Rajasthan would be an expected result. Chhattisgarh, the BJP has pulled back some lost ground. In the beginning, it was looking like people traveling, they always said it was looking like a sweep for the Congress, but if it's a bit closer than that, but I think Rahul, I agree with you, a victory is a victory nonetheless, right? So the Congress would find cheer in that. Madhya Pradesh, I think, is too close to call because And I do want to say that if it is 2-all, and Madhya Pradesh, it's too close to call. Even a close election is a kind of a moral victory for the BJP in Madhya Pradesh after 18 years of incumbency. But Telangana, if the Congress dethrones the BRS, then that is the expansion of the southern model of the Congress. It's from the Karnataka, it goes on to Telangana. It also gives it a powerful, rich state ahead of the Lok Sabha elections. So I think that is an important one.
And it also tells it perhaps that this, I don't want to use the word bravery, but welfareism.
Absolutely.
Some degree of welfareism works, it's connecting, and it also tells you that there is a problem actually because they are recipients for welfareism. That
but
means
Professor
that
Kumar, why is Madhya Pradesh, it's a big state, there are only two players, it's a bipolar contest. Why is it so difficult to predict? We've saw it in 2018, we're seeing it again in 2023.
Numbers have changed again in Madhya Pradesh, BJP is back ahead.
Why is it such a difficult state to predict, Professor Kumar?
No, the numbers will keep changing because what we are trying to do at the moment is looking at different polls and trying to take the averages. So if a poll comes now, while we are speaking, and if that poll says 129 for Congress, the numbers will again change.
Correct.
But that doesn't mean that what is going to happen on 3rd of December is going to change. It's not about being two party or three parties. Predicting, because Zaka is asking why predicting elections in Madhya Pradesh is so difficult, why it's a bipolar contest. I think if you look at the vote share estimate, it's a neck-to-neck fight. And normally, generally, in a traditional way, what do you do in an exit poll or in an opinion poll? You ask the people whom you are likely to vote for, whom you have voted. You get the vote estimate and then you convert these votes into seats. If it is a neck-to-neck fight in terms of vote share, and we know that a party can win large number of seats by small margin, and it could be the other way around. That is why it becomes so difficult to predict the seat. And look at Zaka, what happened in the last assembly election in Madhya Pradesh. BJP had more votes. Ended up with
41.03.
That is why I think
density of votes in
can you
particular
tell us
seats
how
can also
many
make an impact.
seats in Madhya Pradesh are really swing seats?
nobody can say.
I'm saying in the last election.
For example,
How many were won
the
in
tight
tight
fights
contests?
that we
Yes.
had, this is
Yeah.
less than 3,000 votes. There are
Right.
30 seats, which
Yes.
is not a bad number. It's more than 10% of the overall, 30 out of 230.
Yeah, that's
out
a-
of this, the Congress won 15, the BJP won 14. So you
here
can
also-
say
One of the
why
things I
it's
want
that
to add here,
close.
Zaka and Rahul, is
Less
that,
than 1% vote share difference.
One of the reasons why Madhya Pradesh is difficult to predict is that because it's got,
Yeah.
say, 6 different big regions, and many of them vote very differently. So,
I
for
see.
example, last time the Congress swept in 3 of them, but the BJP swept 2 of them, and in one it was neck and neck. So it's almost like 6 different state elections. So unlike Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, where it's much more
we are
uniform,
also seeing
Madhya Pradesh
these
is much more
cases
complex.
where it is too
Extending the conversation of what Nalinji is saying, if you look at what happened in the last Madhya Pradesh election, if you look at the aggregate, vote share were almost the same. Out of the 6 region, one party is leading in 3, the other party is leading in 3. And Zaka, the data which you presented, if you look at the 30 assembly constituencies which were marginal seats, in a sense vote share, the
Less than
difference of
3,000
three.
votes. The margin was less
14
than
goes to
3,000.
one side and the 15 goes to other side.
Correct.
It indicates a very tight election, and my own sense is that 3rd of December we are going to have almost the repeat of 29.
Right now the
2018.
scenario is 2-2. That's what it looks like. Mizoram has gone to the MNF, so that's the regional party there. Congress is not there in the fray. They will eventually go to the NEDA. But let's look at the poll of polls at these numbers. As we look at these numbers, Madhya Pradesh, Mamaji is firmly there as of now. अभी तक तो pollsters अधिकांश यही कह रहे हैं कि मामा जी सरकार बना रहे हैं. He's passed the post and he's got that one extra seat. So that is important. That is important for him. The other thing that we are also seeing is that with respect to Rajasthan, the BJP is sweeping Rajasthan. So this is Madhya Pradesh poll numbers. In Rajasthan, we look at it 111. So clearly past the post and also taking it there, and the pattern continues. There is no this one Rajasthan घुमा के बदल देता है, सरकार बदल देता है, and this time also they have done it when they do it overwhelming numbers. The twist in the story, as far as the Congress, big win for it if it holds on to this number below, ladies and gentlemen, and that is 46. Let's look at Chhattisgarh. In Chhattisgarh, 45 is the halfway mark and 90 seats. 46 you win, and that's where the Congress is right now. The BJP with Raman Singh at the helm, former Chief Minister, is at 41. It is still short. Even if the others back the BJP, it is 46 and 44, neck and neck. Wahan kuch to hoga. That is what everybody understands, that this is not going to be a settled state because the mandate is not as clear, as overwhelming as it was the last time around when Bhupesh Baghel came to power. The story within the story is Telangana. Because right now, ladies and gentlemen, if this stands, if this poll of polls stands on result day on the 3rd of December, nobody is forming government. Because the parties who've got the mandate cannot back each other. That's the story. 56. So the Congress is 4 short, BRS is 48, it is 12 short, AIMIM is 5 and BJP is 10. So if BRS, AIMIM and the BJP come together, highly unlikely they will form a government which nobody will accept. AIMIM will never go with the Congress. As of now, that's their stated position. BJP and Congress coming together, we don't know. Well, if BRS and Congress decide to come together, that's a different story altogether.
Jump to sort of giving legitimacy to this poll of polls, I think we'll have to really look at the vote shares also. Because if, as Nalin is saying, let's say in a state like Madhya Pradesh, there are so many regional variations, you'd also have to see at the micro level of where the seats or how the pattern has emerged. Because you look at a state, for example, like Rajasthan, where a huge number of seats have actually changed over time, over 3 consecutive elections, with such small margins. The vote share would be very, very important. At least the regional vote share we must need to look at.
But in Telangana, you don't have empirical data. The last 2 times there has been only one party and that party has only increased its mandate. So how do you read Telangana? The story right now...
In Telangana, the vote share is critical because the gap between the...
But we don't even know the swing. We don't even know who's swinging where and which region in Telangana. That's the story, na? Telangana mein kaun kahan ghuma kaise?
Are we saying?
Look at the vote share. Last time around, they had almost 50% vote share. And in a multi-corner contest, when you have Congress, MIM, BJP, a party getting close to 50% vote share, you get this. This is a 2/3 majority, 88 out of 119. Whether they'll be able to replicate this, because if you go back to 2014...
But Zaka, the Congress has never won 51 seats in Telangana.
Yeah,
that
it's
means
not.
This is going to be a remarkable...
If you go to the 2014 election, the BRS was at 63. It only had 34% vote share. The Congress had 25 and it had 21 seats. So this vote share got up by a good 12% last election. So will the BRS fall by that margin, or will they be able to contain the fall? And again, I keep coming back to it. In a multi-cornered contest, it's much harder to predict how the seat share will, like what Professor Kumar was saying. You can get vote shares, but seat share would be very difficult.
But just going by the last election, if you can just bring that up, you look at the numbers, and I don't know if you have regional data, but if you really look at the regional variation, you see huge gaps between the two. So this would have to be a massive
kind of a mandate, Rahul. You know, honestly, the TRS, it's the rural belt, which is north of Hyderabad, that's completely swept. Nizamabad, Adilabad, Asifabad.
But that's where the BRS is supposed to be strong.
If you look at the Congress, it's only in this eastern part. And Revant Reddy, who is now the state president, he comes from Malkajgiri. He's contesting 1 seat here and he's contesting 1 seat here against the chief minister. They have to win. If the Congress has to win this state, it has to win at least 2 out of these 3 regions, whether it is south and east or north and east, but it has to be 2 out of 3 regions.
You're right, Rahul, that the Congress has never won this kind of a vote share in Telangana. Even in the Zaka has got the 2018 numbers. Even in 2019 in the Lok Sabha,
he's got the 2019 Lok Sabha
numbers. The Congress had about 21
Zaka has got the 2019 Lok Sabha.
And BRS actually increased. So if the Congress delivers the kind of result that the exit poll is showing, that means that the Congress emerged as the one party in the voters' mind who could dethrone the BRS, which meant a lot of people have moved to BJP. In the last 2-3 years, there was a lot of resurgence of BJP, which collapsed. Now they've all moved.
No, BJP's vote share has never been more than 20%.
And I think this is a big factor. In the Lok Sabha, they had 4 MPs, the BJP from Telangana. They had almost 20% vote share, which means 1 out of 5 voters was voting for the BJP. I don't think any pollster in this election is giving BJP 20% vote share. A lot of that will go.
It's a 2-horse race there. Let's be honest. In Telangana, it's a 2-horse race, but one horse was lagging. Is that horse really overtaking? I mean, that's going to be a phenomenal. That means that the Raitu Bandhan scheme, the number of other welfare schemes have just imploded. And maybe this, I don't know, maybe this is because many people are saying that this is KCR's last election.
See, I'll tell you one thing. 2018,
could that be a reason?
Just have a look at this. 2018, who slips? Who slips between 2018 and Vidhan Sabha and 2019 Lok Sabha? It's the BRS that slips about 6 to 7% vote shares between 2018 Vidhan Sabha to 2019 Lok Sabha. Who gains? The BJP gains, moves up from 7% to 19.64%. The Congress moves up by only 1%. Now in this story, if if the Congress eats into the BRS's vote share, BRS slips below 40%, and the BJP holds on to even say about a significant 60 to 70% of its Lok Sabha 2019 vote share, the BJP, that's why we are seeing it come to about 10 seats, and the Congress rise to about 56 seats. I just want to quickly qualify to our for our viewers, the flanks and the bottom edge. These are the poll of poll numbers. What you see in the center, the box, ladies and gentlemen, are each individual exit pollsters and their numbers and our own analysis. So for ki number kya hai, if you have that question, just read the left, right flanks and the bottom corners or the edges of the screen. So the edge here to my right is, or to the left of the screen is this one, is the BJP Madhya Pradesh number where they are past the post and they have got the winning number 116. To my left, here on the screen, which will be to your right, ladies and gentlemen, Rajasthan, 111. So BJP taking that too, clear mandate. As far as bottom, Telangana, it's stuck right now because Congress is falling 4 seats short. Massive gain for them, but they're falling 4 seats short. BRS slipping down 12 seats short of that 60 number, which is the winning number. Halfway number 59. 60 is the winning number. Chhattisgarh, if you look at Chhattisgarh, there, bottom edge. Chhattisgarh, Congress moving up and moving up now, clearly past the post. 45 is the halfway number. They've got 48. They are clearly in pole position as far as the exit poll of polls. Poll of poll number gives Chhattisgarh to Bhupesh Baghel and the Congress party.
I'll tell
That's
you one
where it
thing,
stands
Anand,
right now.
if these numbers stand, I won't be surprised if Mr. Modi comes out or someone from the BJP comes out and says, "Ab asli panauti kaun?"
All right, let's go across to Jeetu Patwari. He's a former INC MLA, he's a former minister also in the previous Kamalnath government there in 2018. Jeetu ji, अभी जो poll of polls की नतीजे जो हैं, उसमें बीजेपी को स्लाइट एज है 116 और कांग्रेस को 111. आपकी पहली प्रतिक्रिया चाहूंगा मैं.
ये कहाँ के बताया आपने, मध्य प्रदेश या राजस्थान?
नहीं, ये मध्य प्रदेश का ही है. 116 बीजेपी के लिए और 111
तो
कांग्रेस के लिए.
ऐसा है कि जो आपने मेहनत की है उसको मैं मतलब उसके रिस्पेक्ट करता हूं, पर यह ध्यान रहे कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने यहाँ वोट विधायक खरीदे बेचे थे. इन्होंने वोट खरीदने के लिए लाडली बहना योजना लाए. इन्होंने इतनी अराजकता की कि मध्य प्रदेश सबसे ज्यादा कर्जदार है देश में. एक एक परिवार यातनाओं के माया जाल में फंसा है. आपका पोल थोड़ा आपको करेक्ट करना पड़ेगा. 136 सीट से 155 सीट कांग्रेस की आएगी. ये फिर से नोटेड. ये मेरा वीडियो याद रखना.
आपने खुद बोला.
1 मिनट क्लियर कंप्लीट. मेरा आपसे अनुरोध है, ये मैं जो बोल रहा हूं, ये वीडियो उस दिन 3 तारीख को आप फिर से निकालना और इसी चैनल पे चलाना. मैंने कहा 136 से 155 सीट तक कांग्रेस जा सकती है. जी प्लीज क्लियर.
वो
आपकी मेहनत
प्ले करेंगे. आपका जो बाइट है वो हम
करता हूं, पर मैं आपसे अनुरोध करता हूं 136 से 155.
जी
क्लियर.
लेकिन ये बताइए, आपने खुद अभी बोला कि लाडली बहना उन्होंने जो योजना है उन्होंने इंस्टॉल किया, उन्होंने इंट्रोड्यूस किया. वो तो पॉपुलर तो था, खासकर महिलाओं के बीच में तो लाडली बहना काफी पॉपुलर
ऐसा है. 1 मिनट. ये महिलाओं को नहीं पता था कि 1,000 रुपए देंगे और 3,000 रुपए का बिजली का बिल वापस देंगे. ये महिलाओं को नहीं पता था जो किचन ऑयल 60 रुपए का था वो 160 कर दिया. ये महिलाओं को नहीं पता था कि जो गैस का सिलेंडर कोविड में आंसू खून के रो रहे थे लोग जब 1100 का था और अभी ये सब्ज बाग दिखा रहे हैं. ये अगर इतना ही अच्छा सब था और ऐसे ही रिजल्ट आ रहे जैसे आप बता रहे हैं, तो फिर नरेंद्र मोदी का चेहरा क्यों आगे किया गया और क्यों शिवराज का चेहरा पीछे किया गया? क्या कारण है कि मुख्यमंत्री का, भारतीय जनता पार्टी में मुख्यमंत्री का चेहरा नहीं बताया गया? लेकिन कांग्रेस की सुनामी थी भाई.
लेकिन ये बताइए जीतू जी,
भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने सारे जतन किए. यही कारण था कि इन्होंने 3-3, 4-4 केंद्रीय मंत्री उतारे.
शिवराज सिंह चौहान की जो चेहरा है उसको उन्होंने प्रोजेक्ट नहीं किया. उन्होंने ये नहीं कहा कि वो मुख्यमंत्री बनेंगे दोबारा अगर बीजेपी की जीत होती है. इससे आपको नहीं लगता कि उन्होंने एंटी इनकम्बेंसी को थोड़ा बहुत मतलब उसको काउंटर किया है उन्होंने, बीजेपी ने?
देखो मैं CNN बहुत रिस्पेक्टेबल चैनल है
जी।
मैं ज्यादा इस भावना से कि बहस और आपके सवाल जवाब के उत्तर देने के बजाय अनुरोध करता हूं कि ये मेरा वीडियो आप संभाल के रखना।
ठीक है।
135 36 से 155 तक जाएगी। कांग्रेस पार्टी स्पष्ट
ठीक है।
2/3 मेजोरिटी से आ रही है।
जीतू जी,
ये सब
आपको-
बातें घोतक थी। आप इसको उस नजरिए से देखते हैं, हम इस नजरिए से देखते हैं।
आपको दोबारा हम बुलाएंगे 3 तारीख को। अगर 135 से 155 के बीच में अगर ये नंबर आ गया जैसे आप कह रहे हैं तो प्लीज दोबारा आइएगा और CNN चैनल पे आपका इंटरव्यू करेंगे हम। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए।
So, they are the Congress is very confident there. I just quickly want to take our viewers through all the numbers so far. Pradeep Bhandari of Jan Ki Baat is there with us in the studio. So let me quickly walk across, ladies and gentlemen, and let's look at the numbers. So we've got C voter Chhattisgarh coming through so far, and C voter right now at this point. If you look at the edge of our screen, you would see Chhattisgarh is in the purse of the Congress party. It's coming back to it. The C voter also coming out and saying yes, that could be the case, that the Congress party could very comfortably come back into government. They've given a band there, and that band for both the BJP and the Congress party, but the Congress party clearly having the numbers if you look at the upper number. Let's stay with Chhattisgarh only, and let's look at CNX. What is CNX saying? CNX is saying 46 to 56 seats for the Congress party, 30 to 40 seats for the BJP. So yet another pollster giving the mandate in Chhattisgarh to the Congress party. Let's try and move on quickly and look at the next set of numbers that we have. Let's look at the Jan Ki Baat numbers, and Jan Ki Baat numbers for the state of Chhattisgarh itself. And in Jan Ki Baat numbers, Pradeep Bhandari is sitting with us, so we'll stay with this. 43 to 53, that's the band, and 34 to 45. So clearly, Jan Ki Baat also saying in Chhattisgarh, Bhupesh Baghel and the Congress party prevail, and this entire talk about anti-incumbency seems to be junk. Let's stay there, pause here, pause here. Before we go to Rajasthan, we'll pause and let's ask, why have you given these numbers and why is your band so big? Let's have the conversation.
Anand, because in Chhattisgarh, if you see, traditionally the vote share difference between the two parties has always been roughly less than 1%. So there are significant seats where the margin of vote is less than 5,000, 3,000. Now, if you look at the entire election of Chhattisgarh, there are two belts where the BJP is doing good. That's why it's not the verdict of 2018 where it was completely wiped out, which is the belt of Bilaspur and Sarjuga. So in the phase 2, the BJP has covered up. But in phase 1 is where the Congress party is literally sweeping the phase 1 and the BJP is in single digit seats. So if you look at it, overall the Congress party is at an edge. But I do not look at it from the numbers, because if you look, even if you divide it on the basis of caste, you see STs, the majority ST seats are going to the Congress party, but the SC seats are not being swept completely by the Congress party. There the BJP makes an edge. If you look at the OBC vote difference, there also the BJP has a higher vote share than the Congress party. So it is basically not having a face in Chhattisgarh. There was definitely an anti-incumbency, but it was not a wave of anti-incumbency which could translate into a change of government. This is where you see the band of the BJP is more than 35. Earlier it was less than 20. So if I want to sum up overall Chhattisgarh election, it is BJP having increasing because of an anti-incumbency, but not enough because Bhupesh Baghel, particularly in the rural farmers, is able to get those votes. In the women vote again is divided. So BJP is doing good in its traditional pockets, but it is not able to take a lot of swing areas which it had erstwhile done when it used to form the government. The range is bigger because if you look at Chhattisgarh election, leave apart 2013, which was a wave election, generally the margin of victory and loss has always been less than 1.5%. This is where the range
So
is.
you said phase 1 Congress has swept it. What happened last time around? Quickly.
Again, this is the Naxal belt, this is the Bastar belt. There are 20 seats there. Congress won 17 last time around and the BJP won just 2. So you're saying this will be the similar picture this time around as well?
The BJP is Zaka increasing marginally, but it is not making a dent where 50% seats it's able to win or 40% seats it's able to win. So the Congress here still, if I look at it, it's more than 13 seats, 14 seats. So
But
it takes a decisive
Sarva Adivasi Samaj that had got into this election, it has had no effect on the Congress, are you saying, or it has actually?
No, it has. But ultimately, if you look at it, the Bhupesh Baghel versus who was also a question. So generally in the election, it was the sentiment on the ground or the data which was reflecting, okay, yes, Bhupesh Baghel is coming, but not with the mandate in which he had come in 2018. So if you look and divide Chhattisgarh into regions, Bilaspur is a belt which BJP is doing significantly well. Last time it was completely wiped out from Bilaspur belt also. That's where it was reduced in less than 20 seats. And if you go to Sarjuga, which again is northern Chhattisgarh, there also BJP gets certain pockets.
So last time it was 51 seats. Sanjay ji, concur, disagree that this could happen on ground, that there is anti-incumbency but the BJP stands to gain but not enough to beat the Congress party in Chhattisgarh?
I think generally there is an agreement. I would agree that yes, BJP is gaining compared to 2018 assembly election. Congress will be down compared to 2018 assembly election. But at least I am not in a position to do the kind of disaggregate analysis many people are able to do, going by district based on a exit poll or an opinion poll data. I would prefer to wait for 3rd of December to come up with those detailed analysis. But yes, general agreement. BJP is on the up, Congress is down, but the gap still remains such that Congress should be able to win election in Chhattisgarh.
But what are the factors at work? Let's get a sense of this. What are the factors at work in this election, Nalin?
In Chhattisgarh?
Yes.
So in Chhattisgarh, to me, I think as far as Baghel is concerned, he has delivered a welfare model for the Congress, and his personal popularity is not anti-incumbency against him personally. It's against the regime overall, which is also true for Shivraj Singh Chauhan in Madhya Pradesh.
Sorry, quick flash update. Ladies and gentlemen, are you watching the screens, the edges, the bottom? Because more pollsters are coming in, more numbers are coming in. I said there could be a change, there will be a revision in Telangana, and that revision is reflecting on the screen. The mega poll of polls, right now the poll of poll numbers on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. The Congress is slipping, the BRS is gaining. It's gotten into the 50s, it's 52, just 8 short of that magic number of 60 to win as far as the exit poll numbers are concerned. AIMIM becoming one more seat. BJP slipping 3 seats. Lot is changing even in the exit poll scenarios. Overall aggregate of the pollsters.
Anand,
Telangana numbers will change.
To make on Telangana. The more the BJP goes up, problems for the Congress. More it comes down, you see the BRS.
No, it's actually, correct.
So that's what we need to keep looking at.
Correct. So now they are neck and neck. Congress and the BRS are neck and neck. BJP goes down, then the BRS continues to increase, and Congress also is a steady mode.
Very
but if BJP goes up, Congress goes down.
Pradeep, you did a post poll there in Telangana. Yes. Was it an easy or difficult state to predict? Because there are multiple players.
So if you look at our numbers in Telangana, the Jan Ki Baat poll, overall there is a sentiment of change in Telangana, but the BRS is able to hold a lot of cadre vote in North Telangana. So if you look at it, if you divide again Telangana, the districts of Warangal and neighboring districts, that is where the Congress party is literally sweeping it. Congress is getting the majority youth vote in Telangana, and the BRS is able to hold the vote of voters beyond 55 to 60 years of age. So I'll give you an example. Even constituencies of, say, Sirsila, which is a KTR constituency, which was won with more than 1 lakh of margin, you see a decrease in margin even in that seat when we polled, which is there. So overall,
but 1 lakh margin is a huge margin.
No, it is not losing for sure.
1 lakh is a huge margin to bridge.
Yes, but it is
contesting from 2 seats now. Gajwel, which is
yes,
in
even in
Sirsila,
Gajwel,
from Kamaredi.
The margin of loss and victory is less than 5,000. And let me hear just another 10 seconds. Yeah. If you go 1 kilometer away from Sirsila, that is a constituency which is Vemlugara. In that constituency, in a tripolar contest, again the Congress party leads. So there is overall a sentiment of change. The BRS is able to hold areas where its cadre is very strong. Right. So I will not be surprised.
Pradeep, if you are giving the BJP between 7 and 13, I don't think the Congress is going to get the number that you're sort of
So Rahul,
predicting.
again,
how does this work?
Yeah. So again, a basic difference. If you look
if there is anti-incumbency, it would go to the Congress.
Well, his argument is that the Congress vote will come at the cost of the BJP. BJP's vote will come at the cost of Congress.
No. His argument is not that. If you look at his numbers,
I'm saying your argument too. Your argument. I'm saying your argument.
Yeah, because if there is anti-incumbency, a voter will vote for a party that will actually affect change.
But I think one of the points that Pradeep made, I think, is a valid one. Just 1 second. This is Hyderabad. This is about 20 seats, 20 seats. But you look at north of Hyderabad and south of Hyderabad.
Yes.
You know, these are constituencies where in the Lok Sabha, the BJP got 4 MPs from north of Hyderabad. You know, Nizamabad, Adilabad, Asifabad, that place where polarization can work. Whereas in assembly, because the BJP is not that big a player, those votes go to the BRS. Again, in south, The problem for the Congress is they are only valid or they're only strong in the eastern part of the state, Warangal, Nalgonda, that belt. They need to start making inroads in other rural parts. Let's say the north, as Pradeep was saying, the north is KCR's stronghold.
That's what I'm saying,
what about
Zaka?
the south?
But you're absolutely right, because if the voters are looking for change, why would they want to waste their vote? I'm not being in any way prejudicial to the BJP. I'm sure it's run a strong campaign, but chances are that the voters would go to the
move en
Congress.
masse to the Congress, because the Congress has been in power there in the past, and that's the alternative to the BRS. Yeah.
It's a very valid question.
Sorry, I'm not.
No,
I'm just being a little
Let me answer it. There is an anti-BRS sentiment in the state. So there are BJP is fighting on very selected seats. So ultimately, the anti-BRS vote chooses the best alternative.
Yeah.
So if you look at certain seats like, say, Nirmal, the Congress does not exist. So you look at the election as absolutely applying your logic. That is what is happening on the ground. That there is a pro-BRS vote and there is an anti-BRS vote. Now, there are selected seats, Anand, which are between the range of, say, 15, 16, where the BJP is in serious contention. So the Congress is not in serious contention. So if you subtract 119 from 15, that is where the Congress is literally contesting. So the BJP is fighting on those only 15 seats, where it is converting 40% of it. So it's not cutting into the Congress vote. There, the alternative for the anti-BRS is BJP, which is this very, very selective.
So you're saying particular seats where there is no Congress, the alternative to BRS is BJP.
Yeah.
Wherever the Congress is available, the Congress will pull the anti-BRS vote.
Absolutely.
But
this
right
goes
now,
back to the
currently on your screen, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the screen, sorry, just quickly saying that 52 plus 7, if the BJP backs the BRS, they are at the halfway number there, 59 in Telangana. Right now, Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan going to the BJP. Chhattisgarh clearly back with Bhupesh Baghel, inching towards the 50 number. George Kurian, Khalikur Rahman and Sardar RP Singh with us. Namaste, Jai Hind, gentlemen. Khalikur Rahman, how would you look at the exit polls so far? On our screens, we are putting the poll of poll numbers, where it looks like 2 for BJP, 1 for Congress, and 1 so far is hung, Telangana, but the BRS may just go through irrespective of, because it can choose between the BJP and the AIMIM there. Yes. Khalikur Rahman.
See, actually, very good evening to all my co-panelists, and good evening to you and to all the viewers. In fact, we have just closed our polling here in Telangana, and booth-wise I can tell you that whatever prediction and the exit poll you are showing, I think on the December 3rd, you will find it totally different, because we are expecting something somewhere around 90 now, because I am having the definite figures and the trends from almost all the polling booths and from all the constituencies. So depending upon my insights and the intel, what I can tell you that you will have a major shock on December 3rd. And as for that, even the Greater Hyderabad is concerned, Greater Hyderabad, we are going to win more seats than the last election, that is to 2018. We will get minimum about 15 to 16 seats from the Greater Hyderabad. And the Northern Telangana is concerned, Northern Telangana, we are going to have a clean sweep, because this election actually is fought not just on any other agenda, but on the agenda of the development, what we have provided in this last 9.5 years to the people of Telangana when we took over.
Sir, with due respect, sir, with due respect, if you are saying right now polling has finished and you believe you will breach 90, then all the pollsters have got it wrong as far as Telangana is concerned. George Kurian, Congress with its nose ahead in Telangana, but not yet in position to form government. Chhattisgarh is coming back to the Congress, but MP phas raha hai aur Rajasthan to nikal gaya. As per the poll of poll numbers, sir.
A very good evening to everyone, to your viewers as well. I have some reservations here. I strongly believe that, Madhya Pradesh is one state where the Congress can look forward to. I believe it would surpass the halfway mark on its own. Coming back to Rajasthan, there was a kind of fractionalism with Sachin Pilot and Ashok Gehlot. So that has not played really well, and the selection of candidates from the Congress AICC also delayed. So that didn't look good for the party as well. Coming back to Chhattisgarh, Mr. Baghel has done relatively good work, pro-people work, and so there is a possibility that he could come back to power in Chhattisgarh, but it would be very a close fight between the Congress and the Bharatiya Janata Party. Coming back to Telangana, I strongly believe that there is no doubt that Congress has the ground support and it has come up as far as the support is concerned. But it would be a very close fight, but it would be very difficult to kind of say with confidence that the Congress is coming to power in Telangana, because it is like it's like in Delhi, Congress defeating Aam Aadmi Party. It's the same goes like in Telangana, Congress.
So you're also saying that it looks highly unlikely, but right now you are the single largest party as far as the poll numbers are concerned in Telangana. Sardar RP Singh, BJP is getting stronger in Rajasthan. We'll come to the pollster numbers in Rajasthan soon after getting a comment from Sardar RP Singh. But Madhya Pradesh is right on that borderline. 116 is the winning number, and you've got 116. राइट नाउ 2 सीट्स. छत्तीसगढ़ आप फिर भी पीछे रह गए सर. बाघेल जी आगे निकल गए. 11 सीटों से आगे चल रहे हैं अभी.
Anand, I'm also keeping track from my party in Telangana, and as per my party reports goes, we are doing well in Telangana. I mean, your the 7 is not as per, it's not matching my feedback. कुछ भी करेंगे, सरकार हमारे बिना नहीं बन सकेगी तेलंगाना में. बी वेरी श्योर अबाउट दिस.
नहीं, पर अगर कांग्रेस सिंगल लार्जेस्ट पार्टी हुई तो आप सरकार बनाएंगे कांग्रेस के साथ?
मैंने ये कहा ही नहीं. मैंने कब कहा कि किसके साथ सरकार बनेगी? सरकार हमारे बिना नहीं बनेगी, ये तय है. हमारे बिना सरकार नहीं बनेगी, ये तय है. और मैं अभी आपको अगले 10 मिनट में आपको और एग्जैक्ट सीट वाइज आपको दे दूंगा फीडबैक.
तो एमपी हार रहे हैं, जीत रहे हैं. एमपी हार रहे हैं, जीत रहे हैं. छत्तीसगढ़ हार रहे हैं, जीत रहे हैं. बीजेपी के इंटरनल नंबर्स क्या हैं?
एमपी सुनिश्चित, मैं कभी अभी दे रहा हूँ. एमपी सुनिश्चित हम जीत रहे हैं और सरकार बना रहे हैं. राजस्थान में सरकार बना रहे हैं. छत्तीसगढ़ में अभी फीडबैक आपको और 10 मिनट दूंगा, परंतु आपका जो सर्वे है उससे मैचिंग नहीं है, क्योंकि हम लोग टक्कर में हैं. मैं तो ये मानता हूँ छत्तीसगढ़ में टक्कर में है, परंतु एमपी और राजस्थान एक तरफा इलेक्शन है. राजस्थान में तो आपके जो फिगर आएंगे बिल्कुल गलत प्रूव होंगे. कांग्रेस के मेरे हिसाब से 50 से ऊपर सीटें नहीं आ रही, और खास कर आई वाज इन भरतपुर, एंड भरतपुर वी लॉस्ट ऑल 19 लास्ट टाइम. वी आर विनिंग ह्यूजली इन भरतपुर दिस टाइम, द ईस्टर्न राजस्थान. तो दैट कैटेगोरिकली शोज कि हमारा राजस्थान में एकदम मामला.
एमपी में 116 का नंबर है. आपके हिसाब से एमपी में कितने आएंगे? मैं जल्दी पूछ रहा हूं आपसे. एग्जिट पोलस्टर्स कह रहे हैं अभी तक पोल ऑफ पोल्स में कि 116 आपका नंबर है बीजेपी का. सरकार बन रही है लेकिन जस्ट ऐसे पार होके.
अभी नंबर मत पूछो. सरकार हम बना रहे हैं सुनिश्चित. ये बी श्योर अबाउट दिस. वी आर फॉर्मिंग द गवर्नमेंट इन मध्य प्रदेश.
Okay, you're forming government. Rahul Shivshankar has a question.
Yeah, this is Rahul here. RP Singh ji, you said that look, come what may, we will form the government, or the government in Telangana cannot be formed without us. So are you saying that you're open to tying up with the BRS?
It's too early to say anything. No, I'm not saying anything right now. Let's wait for the outcome.
Because you said that without us,
we have more surprises.
Yeah, please.
RP Singh ji, this is Nalin Mehta here. A follow-up to Rahul's question. I know you want to be cagey about this, but if you are going to support a BRS government in case they're short of the halfway mark, that would probably mean that you would be on the same side as OVC's party as well. Because they also have been sort of giving tacit support.
Correct. Right now, BRS can go along with OVC and they'll be at 58, one short of the halfway number, or 59. That's the winning number out of 119 seats. If they come with the BJP, then they are at 59 and they are just there. But the point is that Telangana mein khel bahut kuch hone wala hai. We've just got news coming through from Telangana. Gentlemen, please stay on with us. And this is the news, ladies and gentlemen. Ludicrous on part of the Election Commission to allow exit polls at 5:30. That's what KCR has come out and said. KCR is upset. He's saying, why have you allowed exit polls while people are still voting? Why are you allowing this? Listen. Yeah, gentlemen, before we chat about this, let's listen to what KTR had to say.
Exit polls. So don't be swayed by exit polls. The real poll results will come out on December 3rd. And those people who are trying to confuse our Telangana voters are in for a huge surprise. ఆ రోజు 2018 లో కూడా
Zaka, So this is what it is. So is this coming from a person who's worried कि last एक घंटे के हमारे vote critical है सीटों के लिए, or
So-
is it coming from a rational point that you should not have done?
I think, I mean, pollsters are also here. I think it's a fair point that you can't have exit poll numbers when you have 1 hour of polling still left. I mean, a lot of these people could also be turning up in urban centers like Hyderabad, 20 seats.
Well, I think just for 30 seconds, you know, the Election Commission, I think, is living in a time warp because, quite frankly, you have a situation, and I find this quite bizarre. You have a situation where obviously there's a moratorium because there's a phase of election going on, but in another state, people are constantly on that particular day allowed to go ahead.
Yeah.
As if there are some iron curtains between states. I mean, today with social media, etc. And we've just had an example in Karnataka where an allegation has been made against the Karnataka Congress for trying to influence the election in Telangana. So I really don't get this. And I think that this business of sort of arbitrarily one day getting up and saying, okay, now you can go ahead with exit polls at 5:30 in the evening after sticking to a 6:30 is a bit strange. And I think
Gentlemen,
it
let's
requires
quickly
an
look at the
explanation.
numbers. Let's look at the numbers again, and now we look at what Rajasthan is saying. Let's move to Rajasthan. Rajasthan, you can see here, the edge of the screen is the poll of poll number of Rajasthan. Out of 119, 115 going to the BJP, 71 to the Congress. Sardar RP Singh says, Congress ko 50 bhi nahi mil rahi. Hum pahunch rahe 150 ke paas. We are reaching closer to 150. What are the pollsters saying? Let's quickly look at it. Let's look at ETG Rajasthan. I'm getting out of the screen so that I can come here and show you the numbers. Aaiye, paas aaiye. Let's come closer and let's look at what ETG Rajasthan is saying. ETG Rajasthan has put out the numbers, and ETG Rajasthan giving the mandate to the BJP. Yes, we've put Rani Sahiba's picture there. Whether she'll be the chief minister, we don't know yet. So the number of ETG at this point is that the BJP gets more than 120 seats. So that's where the numbers are for the ETG. So that's where
In Rajasthan, it really implodes, doesn't
let's
it?
stay with the Rajasthan numbers right now if we can, and then we'll talk Rajasthan.
But the Congress is not doing too badly.
Yeah,
It's
this
at
is
70.
Telangana. Telangana again a hung horse. Let's stay with Rajasthan. Yeah.
Rajasthan hold, that's not very different from the historical pattern. Because every time when you swing from one BJP to the Congress, these are kind of similar numbers you see every time.
Congress
So
goes
it's
down to about
big-
40.
And that's basically true because largely both parties have a core vote base in Rajasthan.
Okay, so ETG has said that
So you're not
at least
gonna see
125 seats for the BJP there. That's the higher number. Let's look at what the next pollster is saying. The next pollster comes out and says, let's put out the next number. Which number do we have next? P Mark Rajasthan. So P Mark Rajasthan also comes in. Ooh, this is giving the mandate to the Congress party. P Mark has
It's an
given the
outlier.
mandate.
It's an outlier
And this is an
poll.
outlier here. 125 seats is the higher number for the Congress party. P Mark is saying 100 seats is the first past the post and the winning number, but they are saying 125 to Congress. So this is the outlier that is perhaps upping the Congress's numbers overall aggregate.
But I think, Anand, one should also figure out who is this P Mark. Who is this outlier? Where is the poll conducted? When was the poll conducted? Because if you get an outlier, we should have an interest in
सर
that.
देखिए उसमें क्या है कि किसी का एक एग्जिट पोल मेरे पास आया, सर ये नंबर है, हमने सैंपल साइज देखा 83% men, 15% women in a state where women are the highest voters. I said, boss, I'm not trusting this number. So that is devil lies in the details. But these are numbers. जन की बात, प्रदीप भंडारी यहाँ बैठा है, उससे पूछेंगे.
Actually, without vote shares,
This
it's become
numbers-
very difficult to sort of look at. I wonder what the vote shares for all these polls are.
Now, Pradeep, you are saying that the BJP can win up to 122 seats. That's the
Absolutely,
band.
yes.
But 100 to 122, 22 seat. This is, I keep wanting to ask you, ये 22 seat का margin क्या है? What is
So
the
again-
basis? This is like hedging my bet.
No,
चलो
that's
यहाँ
not-
भी आया तो भी मैं जीत गया, वहाँ भी आया तो भी मैं जीत गया.
So if you see the overall trend, Anand, the overall trend is that BJP is forming the government, but with a reduced majority than what it had done in 2013. So the trend is not changing. Now, why is the majority reduced? This is a very unique and a new election in Rajasthan. Rajasthan, historically, if you look at it, at least from 2003, it was Vasundhara Gehlot. This time, the Bharatiya Janata Party has gone with a combined leadership, not with Vasundhara's face. And even if you look at it on Gehlot's significant, there was no per se solid anti-incumbency against Gehlot per se, but against his candidates at a lot of areas. He's not able to get the majority of youth vote. Rahul spoke about the vote share. If you look at the vote share, there's a difference. Like as per our vote share, the BJP is around 43 to 45. The Congress is between 40 to 42. And Rajasthan, if you look at it, more than 10 is what is going to others. So a lot of BJP rebels are also finding as others. For example, Yunus Khan, who has always been a BJP guy, is now fighting as an independent who can win. Similarly, a lot of Congress people are also fighting there.
So, okay,
Yes.
let's get Sardar RP Singh quickly on this. Zaka has got the 2013 numbers. Yeah, 2013 Zaka.
The
Yeah,
2013 number. It was a runaway victory.
So, Rani Sahiba
for the
factor
BJP,
is the
165. Congress was down to less than 60, and there was a significant vote share difference also. 4 plus 4, 8% vote share difference between the two parties. And I think Pradeep may have a point there. You know, people want to see a face. Chehra kaun hai? And I think the BJP, both in Madhya Pradesh and in Rajasthan, because they did not declare a chehra, I think there's some downside.
Sardar
there as
RP
well.
Singh,
But one
Sarkar
second,
hum
in
banayenge.
different- in many elections, the BJP hasn't actually put out a face of, and they have won elections.
So I'm not
I mean, you
saying
go
that-
back to Uttar Pradesh, for example.
Uttar Pradesh,
So,
in the last UP election,
last UP
Yogi Adityanath
elections.
became
So,
the
again,
Chief
Haryana,
Minister.
several of these
So,
big states.
Again,
I think
so if
many
you look at it,
elections.
just allow me to see.
Yeah.
All of those are the states in the era of 2014 to 19, where all these state governments are suffering significant anti-incumbency. Now, I am again saying that the BJP has not projected the face in Rajasthan. That is why it is not changing the rivas, but it is not a sweeping victory like it used to
Correct.
be.
But it's
160
also right,
par
but
nahi ho
Modi
rahe.
has made this a prestige battle where
That
he's
is why it's
gone and
winning.
said,
It's
you
Modi which
vote
is
for
letting
me.
the BJP win.
Correct. But increasingly the voter somewhere is also getting and saying कि मोदी तुझसे बैर नहीं पर जो स्टेट में उसकी खैर नहीं.
Just
This is also
another
they've
point,
done it.
just to add to Zaka's point, you look at Tripura 2018, the Bharatiya Janata Party swept it, and look at Tripura 2023, the BJP won it, but with the reduced mandate.
Yeah, they didn't sweep it.
Yes, so if you look at
ये-
places
सर
where it is happening,
ये
that's the
फॉर्मूला
trajectory.
ऑफ चेहरा सरकार हम बनाएंगे लेकिन चेहरा नहीं बताएंगे. इट इज पास्ट द एक्सपायरी डेट. दैट्स व्हाट द सेंटिमेंट सीम्स टू बी. चेहरा बताना पड़ेगा.
But
सरदार आरपी सिंह.
we're not saying that. We're not saying that.
Anand, is Pradeep there with you?
Yeah, yes, he's here.
Bhandari there with you? Ask him what is. Okay, Pradeep, what's happening in East Rajasthan? My feedback says we are winning 15 out of 19. Last time we were 0.
So
I've just gone through my feedback which has come to me now. If we are winning 15 out of 19, then it's a sweep election.
So
Especially in Eastern Rajasthan, Bharatpur.
Okay, yeah. So Sardar RP Singh is an
Bharatpur
old
Sambhag.
friend.
When I say Bharatpur, mean Swai Madhav or Bharatpur.
Sardar RP Singh is an old friend. I do not deny to the trend. Now he went to Bikaner, he went to Bharatpur. Out of 19, as far as the BJP is winning 11 to 12, and the Congress is winning 6. In Kota is where the BJP is sweeping. Out of 17, the BJP is winning 13, and the Congress is winning 4. He spoke about the, if you look at Bikaner region, again the BJP is winning 16. Jaipur is where the BJP is not sweeping per se, but again leading. So the difference between RP Singh's analysis and my analysis is, he's saying that it's a runaway victory for the BJP.
Okay,
I'm
big
saying it's a
alert,
mandate
big alert,
for the BJP,
sorry,
not a
alert.
runaway
On the poll of polls, Congress forming government in Telangana as per the exit poll of polls. 60 seats for the Congress in Telangana, BRS 48, Khalikur Rahmanji. Exit pollsters, as the numbers are fructifying, 6:30 p.m. by 7 p.m. final number should come for Telangana. It looks like the Congress seems to have the mandate in Telangana, comfortably so.
If you continue this debate for another one and a half hours, then I think the kind of figures you are getting, Congress will touch 100 according to you.
No, it is not our figures, sir. It is not our figures. News 18 is not conducting. News 18 is not conducting an exit poll. It's a poll of poll, aggregate of all the exit pollsters, sir.
No, let me tell you one thing very honestly, because see, we are all very seasoned politicians who are all sitting here. We are all very seasoned political analysts, and you are a very seasoned anchor. So we have, even in the past also, we have seen the exit polls, and we can't really, go by the exit poll. Because there are various factors which are not considered.
I'm just going to, sir, give me 1 second. I've got the axis number for Rajasthan. This is very interesting, and the reason I'm writing it down is because this again seems to be a bit of an odd number from what we're seeing elsewhere.
Outlier.
So for the BJP, they're saying 80 to 100. Okay, this is axis for BJP, 80 to 100. For Congress, 86 to 106. Now, this is something worth talking about, Sanjay ji. I mean, this is supposedly the pollster whose reputation is the best in the market. He is saying, he seems to be the outlier now. He's saying Congress 86 to 106 in Rajasthan and BJP 80 to 100.
But if you look at the two numbers, he could be right, because BJP could end up with say 92, then also, and Congress can also end up with 94 seats.
No, but no one is saying so far that Congress is ahead in Rajasthan. No other poll is saying.
Except for PMark.
Yeah.
So now there is not only one outlier. We can say that there are two outliers. But I think look at the big picture. The big picture is it is a close election. It's not going to be a sweeping victory either for the BJP or for the Congress, and that is the point we have been discussing, that it is not turning out to be an election.
Let's be very honest with the manner in which the BJP goes into government formation. This is a loss for the Congress party. If you're going to have a margin of 80 to 186 to 106 and you do the math on it and you get out a median number, so that's 94 and 92, that is fundamentally a big problem for the Congress party in Rajasthan.
No, but that is also bucking the trend of Rajasthan. Rajasthan never traditionally votes like this. When it votes en masse, doesn't it?
That's true, but I'm just saying that this suggests that the BJP's got its nose in front. So there is definite anti-incumbency and the Congress ain't coming back.
So I remember 2018 Rajasthan election when we predicted, and at that time everyone was saying sweeping Congress, and we said Congress will get less than 100 and got 99. See, with the BJP, why do I say it will not be neck and neck but a victory for the BJP more than 100? Because Rajasthan definitely votes on caste. Now, Gujjars had voted en masse to the Congress last time.
Yes.
This time they are not getting that vote. Other OBCs, the Mali, Sainis and all were traditionally with the Congress. They are traditionally with the Congress.
So you're saying the more things change, they remain the same.
Yeah,
because
so
two elections have told you that there is no sweeping mandate even though the government is changing.
The government is changing. The BJP is not falling as less than 100. If you look at, I'll give you another example. If that was the scenario, go to Jodhpur. In Jodhpur, in the district of Jodhpur, Ashok Gehlot, it's not Congress sweeping it with more than 6-7 seats. The BJP is fighting it out. And Kota region is where the BJP literally sweeps it. That is where there is no sentiment of Congress. This is where the BJP is edging ahead in this.
I've got some historical data looking at 3 elections or 4 elections. The BJP is very strong in 28 seats. That it's won 3 consecutive times, those 28 seats. The Congress, the BJP is strong with 77. That means it's won 2 out of 3 since 2008. And look at this number. The Congress is very strong in only 5. So it has only won 5 seats 3 times consecutively, and it is weak in 53 seats, which is it's never won 53 seats.
But that's the story for BJP and Congress even in Madhya Pradesh.
Madhya Pradesh.
If you look at the last 3 assembly elections in Madhya Pradesh, there are almost 67 seats BJP has won for the last 2 elections.
So that's what I'm saying,
and for the same numbers for the Congress is 17 or 18 seats.
No, he's got something interesting. 2018,
which tells you that there is no incumbency
you're
advantage
saying that
at all for the Congress party.
Is the vote share difference just 1% in Rajasthan also?
No, this is from 2018, so we don't know the vote share. Vote share has not been given.
I'm just saying historically, is that vote share swing that happens with Rajasthan is also only 1%?
Generally, it's in the 1 to 2% range, unless of course it's a wave election like we saw in 2013 where BJP got 160 plus.
So 1 to 2% vote share. Now, Sardar RP Singh, आप क्या कहेंगे? George Kurian, Congress in the mix again in Rajasthan, as far as 2 pollsters.
Well, as far as Rajasthan is concerned, I believe...
George Kurian and then RP Singh. Yeah, George Kurian.
Well, Anand, as far as Rajasthan is concerned, I strongly believe that the Congress party could have done it the right way, because there were many mistakes that the AICC has committed here, because candidature selection, be it the factionalism between Sachin Pilot and Ashok Gehlot. So all these factors have played not in favor of the Congress party. So, and strongly believe, so these are the reasons for the Congress party, because otherwise the policies or the governance was pro people, and there is no reason for Congress party not to come back. But because of the Congress party, putting up its candidates up till the last moment, and the factionalism between Ashok Gehlot and Sachin Pilot has also not played well for the Congress party.
Right. Sardar RP Singh, as far as Telangana is concerned, you are moving from 1 to 5, not a significant up. Congress is at 60, bottom of the screen, poll of poll numbers for Telangana. Congress in position to form government in Telangana. As far as these exit poll aggregates are concerned, poll of poll numbers are concerned, ladies and gentlemen, does this reflect on the day of the result? We'll have to wait and watch. Chhattisgarh Congress forming government as of now at 49 seats, nearly 50. So as far as the poll of poll numbers, Congress back in power. So they hold sway. In Rajasthan and in BJP and in Madhya Pradesh, the BJP has the numbers. BJP has its nose ahead in both the states. Rajasthan, they are comfortable. In Madhya Pradesh, just so. Sardar RP Singh, the PMARC numbers and the access numbers, would you agree, disagree with those numbers, which give the mandate to the Congress party in Rajasthan?
Again, Anand, I don't have the data for the complete state, which has come from my party. I was in Bharatpur belt, and we lost 19. And as per my figure goes, which is coming to me, we are winning 15 out of those 19 this time. Although there was a rebel in one of the seats, but rebel in two of the seats. But even then, we are winning 15. So my input and my data says that we are doing a swing. But as far Madhya Pradesh goes, I need to do a little check on this. There were 72 seats where there was more than 80% vote percentage of women. 80% women voted. I mean, that's an indicator that which side Madhya Pradesh is swinging. Just have it checked. I was going through the data which is coming to me. 72 seats, 80% women voted. They came and voted, which shows that yes, the schemes which there has been announced by the Shivraj Singh Chauhan are doing their dent and making their dent.
Those 80% of women make 50% of the votes. So that we have to wait and say, yes, if the women have voted, and we don't even know if all women have come out and voted in large numbers only for Shivraj Singh Chauhan. That's what the BJP is hoping and praying for. But the Congress is also feeling that they've also made significant promises. Kamal Nath ji has come and they have also come. So we have to wait and watch. We are looking by what the pollsters have done. Important point would be to understand what's the sample breakup as far as gender is concerned, because gender comes into play more than caste or anything, ladies and gentlemen. And if the gender is skewed towards one particular gender, the results could be affected. Let's try and we'll call for the multi-poll of polls state-wise. We'll go one state at a time. The moment they are ready, we will go to them one state at a time. The moment they are ready, multi-state of state poll of polls. As of now, these are the numbers and this is how they stand. MP 116 out of 230. That's the poll of poll number in favor of the BJP. BJP forming government as of now in MP as per the poll of poll numbers on the day of the exit polls. Rajasthan, again, BJP comfortably ahead. So 2 for Rajasthan out of the 4 states that we're talking about. Mizoram, again, there will be a change in government, but it's the regional parties that will come into play. Telangana, once again, it is a shift there in the bag of the Congress party. Chhattisgarh, Congress retains. So 2-2 out of these 4 key states. Is this possible on result day live? Nalin Mehta.
I think this is possible. Look, I think Telangana is still up for grabs because, look, there are 2 ways of looking at Telangana, right? One is that everybody is hedging their bets. ये आर या पार होगा या तो 50 सीट होंगी या 70 सीट होंगी, right? That's one way of looking at Telangana. That every pollster is kind of hedging their bet and so on. Telangana, I think, is too close to call at the moment. I also think Madhya Pradesh is too close to call. Remember, it's a state where last time BJP had a higher vote share than Congress, but lesser seats. Now, when you have that kind of close vote share, it's almost impossible to predict the seat share. It's a mathematical calculation which is well within the margin of error. So I think Madhya Pradesh is very open. Telangana is also open at the moment, but it could well, like Rahul has been saying.
If you are saying that these are open elections, I mean, this is a massive, sorry to say this and disappoint people, a vote for Modi. He's on the ticket in 3 states.
Rahul,
in Chhattisgarh, in Rajasthan and in Madhya Pradesh. And if, look, let's just look at it. Last election, all these 3 states went willy-nilly to the Congress party. If they're not retaining them, then what is this hawa that we are talking about, this anti-incumbency that we are talking about, even at the national level?
I agree, Rahul. See, you're right. In 2018, the Congress won all these contests.
Yes.
One Rajasthan, one Madhya Pradesh, and except for Telangana.
Okay, 2 states. Chhattisgarh or Rajasthan? Poll of polls, multi-poll of polls, which do you want to look at first?
Madhya Pradesh.
Vote is out.
MP.
Huh? No, I'm saying Chhattisgarh or Rajasthan. Rajasthan. Let's go with Rajasthan.
Okay.
So let's look at Rajasthan. Let's call Rajasthan, ladies and gentlemen. Let's try and look at Rajasthan, the multi-poll of polls. This is how the numbers are. Now, let me go to the other side so everybody has a look and I can look at everybody. So, Jan ki baat. BJP 100 to 122. Let's look at the upper numbers, okay, for all parties. So 122, 125, 128 and 90. So this is Access My India, which says 90. ETG is saying, so we've not kept, PMARC is here. Then, so we got the PMARC numbers ulta when we put it out. So PMARC has also given the mandate to the BJP.
So basically only Access is the outlier.
So only Access is the outlier. Access is the outlier, which says 96 to the Congress party, but still not past the post. Correct. 72, 81, 85. Others 15, 15, 21, 13. These others come into play if this scenario happens. These others come into play if this scenario happens. Else, it is all the way to the
BJP. Directionally, I think BJP,
This is,
at least in Rajasthan,
the
I think
trend line seems to be that
I'm fairly confident that the outlier will not happen. I think the trend seems to be that the BJP will win. Whether it wins by 110 or 130, that's a different
even if the outlier were to happen, Zaka, I mean that. Let's be honest. The BJP will fancy making a government there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Of course.
It'll fancy its chances.
And even in the outlier, the others are 13. But Rajasthan has historically had 13, 14, 15.
No, this is a massive pro-Modi mandate.
BJP,
will you say it's a massive pro-Modi mandate or an anti-Congress mandate in Rajasthan? Is it a massive pro-Modi mandate or an anti-Congress mandate? Picking up from Rahul Shivshankar, Rahul said that this is PM Modi is on the ticket. वहां पे कोई सीएम का चेहरा नहीं था. Modi was the person, star campaigner, PM was the captain. Now here in this case, is it an anti-Congress mandate in Rajasthan or a pro-Modi mandate? How would you look at it? Sanjay ji.
At the moment, we are only discussing the trends from the exit poll. I am not in a position to conclude whether it is a pro-Modi mandate or an anti-Gehlot or anti-Congress mandate, because at the moment it's not clear whether, yes, from this we get a sense that most likely BJP is ahead of the Congress, most likely BJP should be able to get a majority, and if that's the case, then certainly
I think we've got two big voices from Rajasthan. The leader of opposition Raghvendra Rathore and Mahesh Joshi minister is also there. Namaste, Jai Hind, gentlemen. आप दोनों को नमस्ते. यहाँ स्टूडियो में मैं आनंद नरसिम्हन हूँ, मेरे साथ जाका जेकब और राहुल शिवशंकर हैं. राठौर जी, मैं आपसे जानना चाहता हूँ, ऐसा लग रहा है कि जनता का मैंडेट बीजेपी के पक्ष में आ रहा है, लेकिन बहुत ज्यादा ओवरवेलमिंग नहीं है. 100 के पार है, 109 पे अभी दिखा रहा है ओवरऑल एग्रीगेट.
देखिए ये आपका एक अनुमान है. हम लोगों ने राजस्थान को नापा है पिछले 6 महीनों के अंदर अलग अलग कार्यक्रमों में, चाहे वो परिवर्तन यात्रा हो, जन आक्रोश यात्रा हो, और मैं कह सकता हूं कि ये जो आपका अनुमान है इससे बेहतर कहीं भारतीय जनता पार्टी का प्रदर्शन रहेगा, और भारतीय जनता पार्टी प्रचंड बहुमत से इस बार सरकार बना रही है. आपका अनुमान से परे हटकर आगे जाकर मैं कह सकता हूं.
एक बात ये कही जा रही है, क्योंकि आपने मुख्यमंत्री चेहरा साफ घोषित नहीं किया, इसीलिए 2013 जैसा मैंडेट नहीं होगा आपके पास. 100-150 पार, क्योंकि रानी साहिबा को आपने आगे नहीं किया, किसी को आगे नहीं किया. आप क्या कहेंगे?
देखिए, हमारे पास दुनिया के सबसे लोकप्रिय नेता का चेहरा है, इसलिए इसकी आवश्यकता नहीं. और ये कहीं पूरी कैंपेनिंग में हमें इस चीज़ की महसूस भी नहीं हुआ कि हमारा कोई चेहरा है या चेहरा नहीं है. ये महसूस हुआ कि कांग्रेस का शासन नहीं, कुराज था. ये लूट और झूठ की सरकार चलती रही, और इन्होंने जितनी भी योजनाएं बनाई वो आभासी योजनाएं थी. सपने जरूर बेचे इन्होंने, बनाने की कोशिश जरूर की, पर जनता ने उनको नकारा है, सिरे से नकारा है, और दहशतगर्दी की जिंदगी में जीने वाले राजस्थान के लोगों ने फैसला कर डाला है.
जोशी जी, आप क्या कहेंगे? क्योंकि एक्सिस को छोड़कर कोई भी आपको मत नहीं दे रहा है, और एक्सिस भी कह रहा है कि आप 100 पार नहीं करेंगे, 96 पे आकर रुकेंगे.
देखिए, एग्जिट पोल पहले भी गलत साबित होते आए हैं और आमतौर पर गलत साबित होते हैं. एग्जिट पोल में किसी का कुछ स्टैक दाव पे लगा नहीं होता है. एग्जिट पोल गलत हो गए तो जो एग्जिट पोल नतीजे देने वाले होते हैं एजेंसी, उनका कुछ नहीं बिगड़ता. फिर अगला चुनाव कोई आता है, एग्जिट पोल फिर नए सिरे से दे देते हैं. तो कुल मिला के मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ, जिस तरीके से पहले एग्जिट पोल नकारे गए हैं, उसी तरीके से ये एग्जिट पोल नकारे जाएंगे. मैं राजेंद्र राठौर जी की इस बात से सहमत हूँ कि इन एग्जिट पोल पर विश्वास नहीं किया जा सकता. वो भारतीय जनता पार्टी की बात कर रहे हैं, मैं कांग्रेस की बात कर रहा हूँ. मैं कांग्रेस सरकार बनाएगी, इस बात का मैं भी दावा कर रहा हूँ. और आप ये देखिए, एग्जिट पोल 3 तारीख को गलत साबित होंगे. पहले कर्नाटक में गलत साबित हुए, पहले मध्य प्रदेश में गलत साबित हुए, राजस्थान में गलत साबित हुए. तो इसी तरीके से इस बार फिर ये एग्जिट पोल
तो अगर आप कह रहे हैं कांग्रेस सरकार में आ रही है, तो वो प्रो गहलोत वोट है कि एंटी मोदी वोट है?
वो कांग्रेस के कामों का वोट है, कांग्रेस सरकार के कामों का, गहलोत सरकार के कामों का वोट है, हमारी मेहनत का वोट है. कोई अकेली कोई एक पार्टी जिस परिवर्तन यात्रा की जिस जन आक्रोश यात्रा की बात राठौर साहब ने कही, उसमें न तो कोई जन था, न कोई आक्रोश था, न कोई परिवर्तन की लहर थी। इसलिए मैं कह सकता हूं दावे के साथ कि आप देखिएगा 3 तारीख को कांग्रेस के बारे में जो आप बढ़त की बात कर रहे हैं, कांग्रेस बढ़त लेगी, स्पष्ट बहुमत हासिल करेगी और राजस्थान में एक बार फिर से जनता की सेवा करने के लिए सरकार बनाएगी।
राठौर जी, आप क्या कहेंगे?
देखिए, शेख चिल्ली के सपने देखने का अधिकार तो है इनको। पिछली बार जिस प्रकार इन्होंने किसी एक नेता के दम पर अपने कैंपेन को आगे बढ़ाकर उसको पूरे 5 साल तक बेइज्जत करते गए चले गए, इस बार सबसे पहला बदला तो उसी वोटर्स ने ले डाला। गुजर मतदाता पोलराइज होकर भारतीय जनता पार्टी के पक्ष में खड़ा हो गया। और मैं ये कह सकता हूं कि नौजवान इस बार पलट के भारतीय जनता पार्टी के साथ खड़ा था। उसके पेपर लूटने वाले इस गिरोह के रूप में कांग्रेस को उसने आइडेंटिफाई किया। और ये जो बातें महेश जी कह रहे हैं, ये तो हाथ के कंगन को आरसी क्या, पढ़े लिखों को फारसी क्या मालूम पड़ जाएगा और ये बात सामने आ जाएगी।
जोशी जी,
मैं राजेंद्र राठौड़ जी की बात से सहमत हूं कि हाथ कंगन को आरसी क्या, पढ़े लिखे को फारसी क्या। 3 तारीख को सारी बातें सामने आ जाएंगी। जिन बातों का राजेंद्र राठौड़ जी जिक्र कर रहे हैं उसके अंदर कतई भी कोई सच्चाई नहीं है। आप बताइए, पेपर लीक ऐसा कौन सा राज्य है, ऐसी कौन से केंद्र सरकार का डिपार्टमेंट है जब पेपर लीक नहीं हुए, लेकिन कार्रवाई आज तक सिर्फ और सिर्फ राजस्थान में हुई। इसके अलावा कभी कोई कार्रवाई किसी भी राज्य में नहीं हुई, केंद्र सरकार ने कार्रवाई नहीं करी। इसलिए मैं कहना चाहता हूँ, मैं भी ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि मुंगरी लाल के जो हसीन सपने हैं
यहाँ प्रश्न ये पूछा जा रहा है कि तेलंगाना में कांग्रेस कह रही है पेपर लीक हुए इसीलिए सरकार को सबक सिखाओ।
एक नहीं,
आप कह रहे हैं राजस्थान में पेपर लीक हुए, हमने कार्रवाई की इसीलिए सरकार को वापस लाओ।
हमने कार्रवाई करी। तेलंगाना सरकार बताए उसने क्या कार्रवाई करी, कौन सा कानून बनाया, किन लोगों को सजा दी।
अच्छा, मैं आपसे आग्रह ये विनम्र अनुरोध करूंगा कि 3 तारीख को आप हमारे साथ वापस जुड़े, लेकिन इससे जाने से पहले मैं आप दोनों से आग्रह करूंगा, आपका नंबर क्या है? आपको क्या लगता है कांग्रेस कितने जीतेगी? महेश जी,
कांग्रेस स्पष्ट बहुमत हासिल करेगी, ये मैं कहना।
तो 100 और 110 के बीच का आंकड़ा माने?
हाँ, बिल्कुल मानिएगा और लगभग यही आंकड़ा रहेगा।
राठौर साहब, बीजेपी के कितने?
130 प्लस
130 प्लस
130 प्लस। महेश जी, यस सर,
मिलेंगे राठौड़ साहब, 3 तारीख को बात करेंगे, जरूर बात करेंगे।
चाहे जीते जो भी हो, जरूर मिलेंगे। चाहे जो भी जीते, जब मिलेंगे तब जलेबी कचौरी जरूर खाएंगे। तब तक के लिए नमस्ते, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
निश्चित तैयार
धन्यवाद, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
मोर विमेन।
Acha, we've got to take a break, ladies and gentlemen. There's lots to talk about. The multipolar polls of Madhya Pradesh coming up because BJP has surged to 124. Yes, 124 on the polar polls. When we come back, stay with us. It's the battle for the states. 5 states casting their ballot, and of course the semi-final before the final. Lok Sabha 2024. 2-2 is the story right now. If you can see the mega poll of polls, the edges of the screens line up the story of the 4 important states, ladies and gentlemen. And the BJP is taking Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh hands down. Clear, superb runaway wins. Solid comeback in Chhattisgarh for Bhupesh Baghel-led Congress there, and of course, what a performance by the Congress party as per the exit pollsters in Telangana. We'll talk about all the stories right now. Let's focus our attention here on Rajasthan. Quickly bringing you up to speed on the multi-poll polls and the poll number of 109. How did we get to that number? Nistula Hebart with us in the studio. Zaka Jacob, Rahul Shivshankar and Nalin Mehta. Stay on. Let's look at it. Jan Ki Baat giving the mandate to the BJP 122, 125, 128 and 100. This is Axis My India. And then these numbers have been revised now. So the numbers have been revised now. Congress 85, 81, 72 and the upper end is 106. If you look at it overall, they are Axis My India, the only one which says the Congress will be past 100. Is this going to stay? Is this going to happen? We'll have to wait and watch. We just have Balak Nath ji, the MP from Alwar. Balak Nath ji, namaste. Exit polls कह रहे हैं कि बीजेपी को 100 से ज्यादा सीटें मिल रही हैं राजस्थान में. आपका
मिलेंगी और 125 ज्यादा पार्टी को मिलेगी और ये और राजस्थान की जनता ने भाव से भारतीय जनता पार्टी को मतदान किया है और राजस्थान की जनता आतुर है भारतीय जनता पार्टी को सत्ता देने के लिए, अपने आगे के विकास की यात्रा को ले जाने के लिए और राजस्थान की जनता को रक्षा, सुरक्षा और बेहतर प्रशासनिक व्यवस्थाएं देने के लिए.
पर बालक नाथ जी, क्या आप कहेंगे कि जो एक 2013 में जिस तरह की विक्ट्री हुई थी, 165 सीटें मिली थी अगर मुझे ठीक से याद है, और 109 इस बार, जबकि आप कह रहे हैं कि मैसिव एंटी इनकम्बेंसी है, गहलोत सरकार के खिलाफ बहुत ज़्यादा ज़मीन पर प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, उनको लोगों में एक रुझान है बीजेपी की ओर, और फिर 109 सीटों का आंकड़ा, ये आप मानते हैं कि ये ठीक है?
ये आपका आकलन है, हमारा आकलन 125 प्लस का है.
पर 125 भी आपको लगता है, क्योंकि आपने एक मुख्यमंत्री चेहरा नहीं बताया, रानी साहिबा को आगे नहीं किया, इसीलिए आपको थोड़ा नुकसान देखना पड़ रहा है?
हमारे प्रधानमंत्री ही सब कुछ है और आज न केवल देश, पूरी दुनिया उन पर विश्वास करती है, उनकी कार्यशैली पर और उनका जिस प्रकार से भाव देश की जनता के प्रति सेवा का और देश को आगे ले जाने का है, ये पूरी दुनिया को और भारत के लोगों को स्पष्ट है. उनकी नीति, उनकी रीति और उनके उद्देश्य पर पूरी जनता आज उनके साथ में है और उनके ऊपर विश्वास करके, क्योंकि नेतृत्व हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी का है और उन्हीं के मार्गदर्शन में भारतीय जनता पार्टी की प्रत्येक प्रदेश की सरकारें हो या भारतीय जनता पार्टी के MLA हैं, सांसद हैं, हर कार्यकर्ता उनके दिशा निर्देश पर चलता है और कोई संदेह की कोई दिक्कत वाली बात नहीं.
आप ये कह रहे हैं कि एक प्रो मोदी मैंडेट होगा. बालक नाथ जी, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. आपके साथ नेटवर्क ठीक नहीं है, जैसे ही ठीक होता है फिर से जुड़ने की कोशिश करेंगे. थैंक यू वेरी मच. Jaka, we seem to have
Alright. For me, the most interesting is the battle for Telangana. I don't think we're in a position to call Telangana yet. None of the exit pollsters are giving a directional trend, but some say that the Congress seems to have an edge. This is the vote share as it stands. Jan Ki Baat saying Congress 39%, BRS 38%. P Mark saying Congress 43%, BRS 39%. PSG, it's the other way around. 40% BRS, 39% Congress. Matriz is saying 43% Congress, 42% BRS. So out of the 4 polls, 3 are saying directionally the Congress seems to have a slight edge. Uttam Kumar Reddy is former PCC chief, also currently the candidate from Huzur Nagar. Mr. Reddy, I don't know if this is good news or bad news, because you guys, the Congress party, were saying in the last few days there's a wave, bye-bye KCR and so on. But none of the polls are suggesting that. Even the poll of polls number is 60 to Congress and 48 to BRS. That's not a wave election, sir.
My own perception, and I must just tell you that I have won 6 elections in a row and this is my 7th election, that these polls don't reflect the amount of wave that is on the ground. My own feeling is that the numbers will be 70 to 75 for the Congress, comfortable to form a government. And these, like you said, these give a directional trend. But in my opinion, the actual numbers of the Congress will be between 70 to 75.
So what gives you that kind of confidence? Congress has not got more than 35 seats, I think, since the state got formed. Last time you were down to less than 20. So from 20 to go to 75, that has to be a massive swing, and none of the polls are showing that kind of a swing. You're looking at easily a 5-6% swing if you have to go from 20 seats to 75 seats.
Okay, I must tell you one thing, that on the ground, that there is a lot of anti-incumbency. Plus, traditionally the Congress has had a good infrastructure in cadre strength in Telangana right through, even when we lost elections. We were always at about 30% polling in both 2014 and 2018. And I was the president of the party in 2018. Then, of course, I think there were some mistakes on our side and we didn't make it. In this last year or 2 years, I have noticed a perceptible, serious anti-incumbency, anti-government feeling. The corruption, the massive corruption, the dictatorial trend was seeping into the public. And the Congress also, the Gandhi family has a special place in the heart of Telangana people. They gave Telangana, and also from the time of Mrs. Indira Gandhi, always an emotional appeal is there. And Rahulji's Bharat Jodo Yatra, anti-incumbency, our 6 guarantees, a combination of factors, in my opinion, is propelling us to a definite, clear majority.
All right, Mr. Reddy, we'll leave it at that. We'll see. Please do join us again on the 3rd of December when the results actually come. These are exit polls. These are not the actual results. But Nistula is here as well. If this happens, if the Congress manages to win Telangana after Karnataka, 6 months ago, what sort of a big deal is that?
It is a huge deal, Zaka. I think it is a huger deal than when the Congress got all 3 states in the last time round, the carousel that we had. Because Telangana, the moment the Karnataka results were out, we had carried a story, and it was extremely evident that a lot of people who are going to move to the BJP decided to stay with the Congress because they realized that now the party would have the financial wherewithal. It's a very expensive state to have elections. So they found out that, okay, now the party can finance an election, and then they got their team together. They put up a very good campaign. If they win, it means that both the big rich states, Telangana and Karnataka, will be in the Congress's kitty. They will have some ease of resources while going into 2024. So that will, of course, be a glue that keeps party cadre, leaders, everybody interested. And number 2, and a less sort of a cynical suggestion, is that it also will show that a lot of the Muslim community has cut away from BRS, AIMIM, and has decided to go with the Congress, whether they have put up as many candidates or not, like they did in Karnataka, that this is a trend. But that will have another flip side to it, because then the Congress's India alliance partners will have
why don't we ask Adil Hussain of the AIMIM with us? Last time around 7 seats, this time around 6 seats as per the poll aggregate is concerned. Adil Hussain ji, namaste. How would you want to respond to what Nistula Hebar was saying?
सर ठीक है सर, वी डोंट जस्ट वेट फॉर 3rd दिन. कांग्रेस में इतनी हिम्मत नहीं रही, कांग्रेस के राहुल जी में इतनी हिम्मत नहीं रही कि चंदयान गुट्टा, याकूतपुरा, बहादुरपुरा जा पाए और वहां सरकार बना रहा. अच्छी बात है, आज कोई भी सरकार बना सकता है, लेकिन 3 तारीख को इंशाल्लाह एमआईएम जिसको साथ दिया, जिसका समर्थन किया, वही सरकार बनाएगा. कांग्रेस अपनी चिंता करे कि छत्तीसगढ़ में, मध्य प्रदेश में क्या होगा, राजस्थान में क्या होगा, सचिन पायलट, टीएस देव क्या करेंगे, कांग्रेस इसकी चिंता करे. कौन विधायक कहां बिक जाएंगे, कांग्रेस इसकी चिंता करे. कोई कांग्रेस का पुराना इतिहास है बिकने का, खरीदने का. ये कांग्रेस क्या करेगी, आप वो सोचे. यहाँ तो बिकने का उनका शुरू हो जाता है.
आदिल जी, मैं बस ये जानना चाहूंगा, क्या आप इस बात से सरप्राइज्ड हैं कि कितना गेन कांग्रेस को वोट शेयर में भी हो रहा है और बीआरएस फिसल रहा है? बीआरएस अब 50 तक भी नहीं है और कांग्रेस अभी ओवरऑल एग्रीगेट में अगर कहूं तो 60 सीटों पर, यानी सरकार वो बना सकते हैं बिना किसी की मदद के.
सर ये ठीक है, अभी तो ये एग्जिट पोल है ना, अभी तो 5 बजे चुनाव खत्म हुआ, अभी सब बूथ पेटी लोग आ रहे हैं. ग्राउंड में क्या है अभी, बीआरएस का ग्राउंड में क्या है, रूरल में क्या है. साइबेरियन क्रेन सब तो परसों चले गए थे, जो दिल्ली से आए थे, जो दूसरे जगह से आए थे. टीआरएस यहाँ की मकामी पार्टी है, यहाँ 10 साल की एंटी इनकम्बेंसी रहती है, तो थोड़ा 19-20 होता है। इतना कांग्रेस तो जश्न मनाने
we are discussing Telangana, GVL
Narasimha
Rao of the BJP is also joining us. He's also from Andhra Pradesh, and Uttam Kumar Reddy is still with us. I believe Pratap Kacharyavas, Rajasthan cabinet minister, is also joining us. GVL, first things first, let's start with the state that's closest home for you. Telangana, the poll of polls number is Congress 60, BRS 48, BJP 5. What is your first reaction to that?
The exit polls have been giving Telangana to Congress in the earlier elections also. If you recall, in 2018 assembly polls also, the Congress more or less thought that they had won Telangana. A number of opinion polls, exit polls put the Congress party not just in the lead but gave them a clear mandate. Because traditionally, combined Andhra Pradesh is a region where Congress has always had a substantial vote share, but it has not been able to do well either in the Lok Sabha elections in 2014 and 2019, nor in assembly elections in 2014 and 2018. So always the Congress party is over projected in the polls, and the actual performance always is significantly lower than what they actually what is projected in polls. So I don't see Congress winning or even being ahead in Telangana. But we'll wait and see what the results are on the 3rd of December.
Mr. Rao, this is Rahul Shivshankar. Hi, how are you? Just very quickly, let's looking at Telangana once and looking at the details. Do you believe that the Congress party somewhere, perhaps, I don't know, because they seem to have, at least as far as these trends are concerned, they look as if they're going to come back. I mean, they're going to win this election. Do you think two of their big promises, number one, the competitive relief politics that they've played, and most importantly, they attacked the BRS for being in cahoots with you at the national level and at the state level. Do you think, if you were just to go by these numbers, do you think this is an indication that the public has sort of supported that?
I honestly, I don't think so, Rahul. I was there for a few days in both Telangana and earlier in Karnataka, and people have seen how those so-called guarantees have never been implemented in Karnataka. So there is a credibility problem for the Congress party. The biggest problem that Congress faces is one, lack of credibility, two, the tag of corruption, three, it has always been the Congress party which ruled United Andhra Pradesh for most period. Save about 12, 13 years or 15 years of TDP rule, it has always been the Congress which ruled Telangana. And everything that really, all underdevelopment of Telangana, the blame has to be and will be laid at the doorstep of the Congress party.
Two quick follow-up questions. Number one, do you believe that the state formation issue still remains alive? Number one. And number two, just look at the larger picture. You can see a screen. And you can see that in the Hindi heartland, at least going by the general trend of these exit polls, the BJP seems to be doing very well in Rajasthan as well as in Madhya Pradesh. In Chhattisgarh, it's not a one-sided race at all. So you've been able to pull back the Congress party. What is the larger message that you're going to read into these, into these predicted, projected numbers if they hold true?
Yeah, with that caveat, Rahul, that if these hold true, I think this would mean that there is I would definitely compare with the outcome of this election with the election in 2018. In 2018, with a very negative result in 3 states, we still managed to better our tally in 2019 Lok Sabha polls. And if these numbers that you are projecting to be true, it would only mean the BJP in 24 will come back with still a bigger number, which is already our assessment.
Chaudhary is also there with us of the Congress. GVL Narasimha Rao says if these numbers hold for the Hindi heartland, you've got a big problem.
Rahul, I don't know because I am not a cephalologist or a predictor or an astrologer, but whatever the ground reports from Telangana show, it's going to be a repeat of the Punjab elections, where in the Punjab there was a very big a demand for a change in the Punjab elections, and around 1 crore voters voted for the Aam Aadmi Party. They did not reject the Congress, but they voted wholesomely for a change. In Telangana also the same issue is here. They are voting for a change. Now here comes a very interesting factor out here. BJP tried at its best by bringing in Himanta Biswa Sharma, Yogi, Narendra Modi ji, Amit Shah, all went to Telangana and tried to polarize the elections to its hill. But they failed miserably. You see in your numbers only some 3-4 seats.
Okay, but just skirting the question I asked. Anyhow, let me bring in Anand, because Anand, if I'm not mistaken, the Punjab exit polls showed the AAP was sweeping. I don't think there was any doubt about that.
There was no doubt. See, in this case, I'll tell you, one of the key parts is the last time around, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh all went the Congress's way. Yes. And despite that, the mandate in 2019 was totally different. Everybody rode off the BJP last time. And this time around, if the BJP is coming back in Rajasthan, is coming back in Madhya Pradesh and is making inroads in Chhattisgarh, that also translates. See, look at the seats that the poll of polls is predicting for the BJP in Chhattisgarh. 38. They never were there anywhere somewhere close. Yeah, Congress is retaining 50, that's important. Let's shift focus and look at Madhya Pradesh. This is a huge mandate. If this number stays, ladies and gentlemen, on your screens, the edge of your screens, what you're seeing is 125 seats for the BJP. What are the multi-poll polls? Why is this number happening? Let's try and understand that. Let's try and get a look at these numbers as we come in closer to the multi-poll polls. We got to get closer and we would see who is calling what number. And if you look at the numbers, it very clearly shows that there are certain pollsters who are saying they will run away with the mandate. Let's look at it closely. Jan Ki Baat 123 is the outside. Matriz is saying 130 and Polstrat is saying 116. Today's Chanakya has put that number at 151 in Madhya Pradesh for the BJP. That's a runaway sweep. There are two pollsters who are saying the Congress has the edge with 125 and 121. That's Jan Ki Baat and Polstrat. But look at today's Chanakya, that's clearly taken that outlier. This is the outlier as far as Madhya Pradesh is concerned. But if you look at the trend, Matriz is also saying that if the BJP is taking it, they are taking it comfortably with 130 seats. Zaka and then Nistula, Nalin, please weigh in on it along with Rahul. Yes.
I think Madhya Pradesh is going to be a tough one to predict because today's Chanakya, like you said, it's a massive sort of lead that they have given to the BJP, 151. Whereas Jan Ki Baat is giving a slight edge to the Congress, just 2 seats, 125.
Madhya Pradesh today's Chanakya number.
151 to 102, 102 to 125. But again, I think the critical thing is Madhya Pradesh.
I think there's something wrong with the maths is not adding up. Look, 151, 230 seats, so it can't be 102.
It can't be 250 seats
there's
because
something
you
wrong.
take this
Congress cannot get because there are 230 seats, so that 102, 125 is wrong. We'll correct that. Yeah. We'll correct that. The today's Chanakya number, please check the today's Chanakya number. Yeah. We're going to check that. Yeah.
But otherwise, like you said, one poll is giving the edge to the BJP and two are giving a slight edge to the Congress. Again, I think Madhya Pradesh is still up in the air. I don't think we're in a position to at least directionally say that it's going to one party. You want to weigh in, Nisla?
Yeah, well, I went twice. One was late July, August, when this Ladli Behna scheme was being launched. Party was in a disarray. I don't think the party workers were at all enthused to give another term to a chief minister who'd been at the helm for 18 years. There was an anti-incumbency against Shivraj Singh Chauhan inside the party. And then when I went during the election, we found that this fielding of these 7 MPs, etc., whether they win or lose, party workers had started hitting the ground. There were a lot of rebels. Then Amit Shah sat there for 3 days. So at least BJP had sorted out some of its internal troubles. So this could be a reflection of that. If they had sat back like they did in Karnataka, where party workers just did not get out of their homes, neither did they go, nor did they get the vote out at that time. So if it had been like that, probably we would have seen a more one-sided contest. Right now, this is the reason I think that pollsters can't make up their minds which way this is going. And unlike Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh is a Sangathan ka state, which is the BJP organization. They start with more than a 25% vote share. So that is why it makes a very, very dicey sort of a election to follow.
Let me add to what Nistula is saying. Madhya Pradesh is the original laboratory of the sun, long before Gujarat also. So in that sense, while Madhya Pradesh is very complex, it's got 6 regions which are very different, you're right, the BJP starts with a huge advantage if it gets its cadres enthused. And what's happened is, 3 or 4 months ago, everybody had written off the BJP in Madhya Pradesh. So irrespective of who wins, the fact that it's a tight contest after 18-19 years of incumbency shows the inherent strengths of the BJP in Madhya Pradesh after such a long incumbency.
No, not just that, but if you look at the screen, there are gains for the BJP everywhere. There are gains even in Telangana for the BJP. There are gains in Rajasthan.
It's surprising to see because the party itself didn't think that they were getting any gains there.
And going back to what Rahul was saying, if this is the trend in the state election where there's supposed to be a discerning voter who turns around and says, state mein mujhe kya chahiye, Vidhan Sabha mein aur national mein kya chahiye, what does this indicate for Lok Sabha 2024?
In all these states...
you please go ahead. I always cut into what you say.
In all these states, the BJP lost them in 2018.
Absolutely.
And we know the results of 2019.
Yeah, and they returned 100%, almost 100% in virtually all the states.
And in 2003, BJP won.
Sorry,
all 3 states, and then they lost the general
I like to simplify everything. So now is the time to actually unfurl the 7 M's.
Yeah, the 7 M's, okay.
So the Modi impact. Let's first talk about the first M, the Modi impact. This is clearly an election where the Modi impact is now being felt. If this number holds, if all of these states report what they're reporting, then there is no doubt that the Modi card still has a lot of traction even at the state level. So this whole talk of Karnataka and Modi not being able to click and basically connect, I think that's something that we have to add a caveat to. The Mandal card, mixed results on the Mandal card, I think, Zaka. The Congress went in, and these are the real caste determining states, right?
If you look
that
at
hasn't worked,
the OBC dominated seats, and I showed this earlier as well. I think one critical factor for the Congress, they might do well in this belt, the Gwalior Chambal, Bhind Morena belt, but they really need to sort of beat the BJP in the central part of the state. So this is sort of Madhya of Madhya Pradesh, and then the BJP does really well in the eastern part, which is Vindhyachal.
The question is,
if in these places the Congress is not able to up this, if the Congress has to go upwards closer to 40 and the BJP closer towards 20 in these OBC dominated seats, for us to say, okay, this whole caste census business had some kind of
so what is the BJP deployed on the ground to try and cancel this out? Well, majority mobilization. Remember, very strategically, as the campaign was heating up in all these states, what was announced? The puja in Ayodhya, 22nd January. This happens to be my birthday, by the way. But that's the day when they said that the puja will be announced. So immediately there was this thing to cut it. Now you have the Mahila vote, which I think we're not reading in. The Mahila vote, I think, is very significant because you were telling me, Zaka, before we went on air, that in Madhya Pradesh, it has really peaked by 2.5%, and in Rajasthan, more women have voted than the men.
No, but are you trying to say?
Either there is caste. What was the main thesis that the BJP unfurled in Rajasthan, that the women are not safe?
Women are not safe.
Yeah.
So law and order. See, but then what you're trying to say is that this entire caste game doesn't stand, because if you're looking at caste, then you can't look at caste only from a male prism.
I'll still go with what
women will also don't women identify with caste then? You're trying to say if they do identify with caste, then let's not say women voters are voting separately.
Exactly.
No, either they are voting as part of their caste, or they are rising above the caste and looking at the factor on ground.
More and more women want to enter the
okay,
workforce.
we got a number on CNX number. We've got
more women are wanting to enter the workforce. If they have to,
GVL is there as a quasi-cephalogist. Yes, quasi-cephalogist. Now no longer into cephalogy, but we will ask GVL on this aspect also, that is this entire caste census thing, is it now a bogey? And should it be looked at only from a male prism? That's another question. But let's look at the CNX number. What is CNX giving as the numbers? Let's go closely. And they are saying CNX 100 is the par number. And CNX is saying that Congress should get 104 seats in Rajasthan. This is the CNX Rajasthan number. And BJP will fall short. 80 to 90 seats for the BJP is what CNX is saying. So these are the latest Rajasthan numbers, and that's why we see the Congress poll number on the edge of your screens bumped up to 80 and the BJP slipping down to 107 from 109. Let's look at the next one. We got one more number coming in on Rajasthan. and this is the matriz number. The matriz number says Congress is at 75 and the BJP comfortably way past the 100 number, and it will actually sweep this election in Rajasthan, get up to 130 seats. So if they move past the 100 number, the BJP sweeps the election. That's the call, and that's where some of the analysts and the BJP supporters are saying, hum 130 par. We heard the LOP of Rajasthan, Mr. Rathore, also say we will be 130. So let's go across to GVL Narasimha Rao and ask him to weigh in on two aspects. GVL, two aspects. One is this entire caste king. Is it a bogey? If you look at the exit pollsters and the way they have voted, it's against the incumbent. That's what it looks like. Or is for the incumbent. Where is there a caste factor there? Secondly, will you look at it from a male-female prism? Does caste not apply to women at all? And the third part, right now, the outliers are saying this way or the other, but so far you seem to be going and getting a clear mandate in Madhya Pradesh and in Rajasthan. What does that imply for Lok Sabha 2024? Three questions.
Yeah, Anand, you see, certainly the caste voting in any given state is more pronounced among men compared to women. Women tend to vote more on performance, more on governance, and less so among men. I think this will be a big gap. If 30%, if 60% men vote caste, the number would be significantly less in the case of women. It's not to say that women don't consider caste as a phenomenon, but the intensity is much lower. Number one. Number two, caste is a factor not in these states alone. Caste is a factor in every state. Be it Tamil Nadu, be it Karnataka, be it Kerala. Kerala is a state which is highly literate. But caste is a factor there also. But caste results in long-term political preferences for political parties. So if you see one particular caste is more inclined towards LDF, another is more inclined towards UDF, and that does not change drastically from election to election.
Right.
The vote swings are very limited. Whereas in some states, they will vote based on the caste of a candidate. I will put Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
They are not heavily voting on the basis of caste, and certainly performance, governance are important factors in these states.
Right. Right.
And as regards impact on the Lok Sabha elections.
Yeah, well, I'll come to that. Just hold your thought, sir. I've got Arun Sao of BJP MP from Chhattisgarh is also right now at this with us. Arun ji, namaste. Chhattisgarh में बाघेल जी वापस आ रहे हैं, लग रहा है कांग्रेस आ रही है वापस. बीजेपी को थोड़ा गेन मिला है, लेकिन बीजेपी पीछे है बहुत.
बिल्कुल नहीं. छत्तीसगढ़ के गांव गली गली में नारा गूंजा है, और नहीं सहिबो बदल के रहिबो. छत्तीसगढ़ में भाजपा आवत है, ये नारा पूरे छत्तीसगढ़ में गूंजा है. और देखिएगा जब 3 दिसंबर को मतगणना होगी तो आप पाएंगे कि छत्तीसगढ़ में कमल खिल रहा है. भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार बनने वाली है.
तो आपके हिसाब से
आत्मविश्वास के
आपके हिसाब से 45 का हाफवे मार्क है, तो भाजपा उसको पार कर पाएगी? कितनी सीटें आप भाजपा को दे रहे हैं? आपका आकलन क्या है?
निश्चित रूप से पूर्ण बहुमत भारतीय जनता पार्टी को मिलेगा, क्योंकि हमने नरेंद्र मोदी की गारंटी जनता के सामने प्रस्तुत किया है. हमारे केंद्रीय नेताओं के लगातार प्रवास हुए हैं. वहीं दूसरी ओर राज्य की कांग्रेस सरकार ने हर वर्ग को ठगने का काम किया, धोखा देने का काम किया. एक भी वादा 2018 में जनता से जो वायदे कांग्रेस पार्टी
ये सब तो आप चुनाव में जाकर जनता को कह रहे हैं. अरुण जी, मैं आपको टोक रहा हूं, क्योंकि किसी भी एग्जिट पोलस्टर ने छत्तीसगढ़ में बीजेपी को बहुमत नहीं दिया है. सारे आंकड़े हमारे सामने हैं, किसी ने भी नहीं दिया है. तो आप कैसे कह रहे हैं?
कल तक आप लोग ये कहा करते थे कि मुकाबले में नहीं है. छत्तीसगढ़ में भारतीय जनता पार्टी बहुत दूर है कांग्रेस से. लेकिन आज जब एग्जिट पोल आया है, आपने नजदीक की फाइट दिखाई है, तो ये बताता है कि कहीं ना कहीं भारतीय जनता पार्टी फाइट में है. लेकिन ये सैंपल साइज बहुत कम संख्या का होता है. मैं आपसे दावे के साथ कह सकता हूं कि अपने कार्यकर्ताओं के मेहनत के दम पर जनता का जो रिस्पांस हमें मिला है, पिछले 1.5 सालों में हमने जनता के हर मुद्दे को सड़क से लेकर सदन तक लड़ाई लड़ी है, और जनता का आशीर्वाद भारतीय जनता पार्टी को मिला है.
47 सीटें
क्योंकि राज्य की कांग्रेस सरकार ने ऐसा निश्चित रूप से 3 दिसंबर को देखिएगा छत्तीसगढ़ में कमल खिलेगा और भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार
तो
बनेगी।
3 दिसंबर को मैं आपको आमंत्रित करता हूं कि आप जुड़े हमारे साथ फिर से और फिर साथ में फिर जश्न मनाएंगे। अगर आप जीतते हैं और अगर नहीं जीते तो फिर आपको कुछ प्रश्नों के जवाब
बिल्कुल जश्न मनाएंगे और छत्तीसगढ़ की जनता भी एक बार फिर दिवाली मनाएगी। राज्य की अन्यायी, अत्याचारी, भ्रष्टाचारी कांग्रेस की सरकार से छुटकारा मिलेगा 3 दिसंबर को। और छत्तीसगढ़ की जनता एक बार फिर दिवाली बनाएगी।
जी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद अरुण साहू जी, थैंक यू वेरी मच। नाउ ब्रिंगिंग द कन्वर्सेशन बैक टू दिस होल मैंडेट कन्वर्सेशन. Is it a pro-Modi mandate or is it an anti-incumbent mandate in the states? Where do we stand on that? GVL Narasimha Rao was about to opine on that, but we'll give to GVL first. We take it here.
Stand, which is basically shows a 2-2 kind of draw between BJP and Congress, is definitely a pro-Modi mandate.
See, Congress has become stronger in Telangana. Now it's 63. Congress exit poll of polls, their poll of poll number for the Congress is 63. Way clear.
Sorry. I'm saying that for a couple of reasons. In Madhya Pradesh, they've had 2 decades of income of a BJP government with a 1.5 year interim of Kamal Nath in between. 3-4 months ago, nobody gave BJP a chance in Madhya Pradesh. If the BJP, if there's still such a tight contest in Madhya Pradesh with the BJP ahead in a margin call, I think that's a lot of credit to the BJP party machinery and to the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister has been at the center stage of the BJP campaign in both Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, despite it having old satraps who have been who not been with the chief ministerial phase. So if the BJP does do well in both these states, you'll have to say that brand Modi retains its potency for the BJP.
There is one thing we are forgetting in all of this. If you say that the Congress is going to win in Telangana, then basically the BRS is going to start fighting for its survival at some level. What does that do in the Lok Sabha scenario to that state? It opens that state up.
Yeah.
Those seats then are open season.
Yeah, they're ripe for the BJP and for the Congress, and the other part is that there
things nationally.
There will be a shift. We've got numbers from Telangana for and these are Chanakya numbers. Let's look at the Chanakya numbers as ये पास आइए तो आपको नंबर दिखा दें. So it's a multi-party contest and a multifaceted contest. Telangana numbers, everybody would be keen to make inroads. Somewhere one gets the sense that the AIMIM is not gaining ground, it's actually losing ground. So let's quickly look at the numbers. 7 for the BJP, 1 others. AIMIM actually may not win much, and today's Chanakya is very clearly saying at this point that the mandate is going to the Congress party handsomely. 71 seats. That's a runaway win. That's a rout of the BRS, and that's the end of the third front.
That's the end of the third front.
At least BRS was trying to mount. They changed their name from BRS to BRS because of the national ambition.
And that opens that election in the Lok Sabha. I think that this is very consequential at the national level.
GVL, you want to weigh in on this?
More than one reason.
Yes.
The first reason is that it indicates a strong revival of the Congress in the south after Karnataka. This is a state the Congress was basically ruled out for the last 10-12 years. And with the BRS coming down, there's a vacuum. So who'll fill it? Is it going to be BJP?
Okay, I've just got the Axis number for Madhya Pradesh. And this is again a big one, a real big one, because Axis is predicting 140 to 162 to the BJP, 68 to 90 for the Congress, and there are 0 to 2 to the others. So this is a huge number that Axis is given, and we all agree that he is the most reputed pollster. But I don't think anyone predicted this kind of range for the BJP, 140 to 162.
But he consistently sticks his neck out. So this
He does.
is just par for the course.
I mean, like you said, 3 months ago, nobody would have given this number.
And
to the
Chanakya got
BJP.
close. Chanakya has given him 151.
Yeah.
See,
Then you have to ask
these
that
present.
question.
Yeah.
I mean, Modi is definitely on the ticket in the north, no doubt about it. And you have to ask that question whether there is this larger anti-incumbency feeling of disaffection against him. And what does that mean for the Lok Sabha elections?
Let's quickly call the MP Axis number also.
Yes.
Let's put it up and we'll quickly look at these numbers. So again, Axis after today's Chanakya gives this number that Zaka just wrote out on the magic wall, and the number is that the BJP could stand to win more than 160 seats in its absolute rout. It's an absolute rout of the Congress party in Madhya Pradesh. and that's the biggest state. So if you look at the color, that entire band then becomes saffron. Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, and then it just looks.
Where does this put Congress before 2024 as far as the India alliance is concerned? Can the Congress call the shots? In fact, if I were the BJP, I'd be worried by this number because I don't think they should do that well.
They shouldn't be doing that well.
You know, the best guarantee against not having the India alliance and the Congress sort of making adjustments with others is that the Congress does well.
Right. GVL Narasimha Rao, Wayne, in Telangana, does this now become a multi-cornered fight or a BJP versus Congress as far as Lok Sabha is concerned? If the BRS is routed, Adil Hussain, AIMIM, no seats. That's what the Chanakya numbers show. And in Madhya Pradesh, this is a rout of the Congress party. Is this possible? Are you yourself believing these numbers? The GVL Narasimha Rao in Madhya Pradesh, 150 to 160 seats?
Anand, I'll see on Telangana to begin with. There is nothing going positive for the Congress party in this election. Unlike in Karnataka, where they had a former chief minister, Siddaramaiah, who had very high popularity ratings. In Telangana, it is only anti-BRS vote which has to give any kind of edge to the Congress party. But the BJP is equally claiming to this anti-BRS vote. So therefore, I do not expect these Telangana numbers to hold true. But we'll have to wait and see what happens on the 3rd when the final results come in. And in terms of Madhya Pradesh, there is actually a positive incumbency. Both state, particularly women, lead. The BJP, my assessment is we will get not less than 10 percentage points more votes among women sections of voters compared to men, which will give the BJP nearly a 4-5 point lead. A 4 or 5 point lead for the BJP in Madhya Pradesh can result in 160 seats because that's how the numbers are stacked.
If it was a positive incumbency, GVLG, if it was a positive incumbency in Madhya Pradesh, then why were so many MPs fielded? Why did Mr. Amit Shah have to station himself there in the state? Why didn't you project?
The incumbent was not named as the chief ministerial face.
Why didn't you project Shivraj Chauhan ji as the chief ministerial face? In fact, he was asking people, मेरे को क्या वापस आना चाहिए, खड़ा होना चाहिए, नहीं खड़ा होना चाहिए, आप बताइए.
All emotional attention.
When you have so much a women vote is helping us. It is both the state and the central government are powering this boost, and the women's reservation, that legislation also has partly contributed to that particular boost. And more importantly, Madhya Pradesh, we have fielded more MPs because we wanted to maximize our tally. We need, you see, in Lok Sabha elections, it is largely the Modi factor that will help people to win elections. And whereas you have strong regional leaders, their support in winning assembly elections, not in their constituencies alone, but influencing regions around the seats where they are contesting, is what is required for us to get this kind of a result.
I think I'm very clear about this. If this number holds, the Axis number holds 140 to 162 for the BJP in Madhya Pradesh, there is no way they can change an incumbent chief minister. No way. He is the rightful claimant.
Yeah.
I mean, you've come back with such a much bigger majority.
I think you're forgetting what happened in Assam, Zaka.
No, but that was an internal thing. That was an internal thing because
so
there was.
This is not an election which was totally fought on Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan's shoulders.
Yeah.
Yes, part of the platform that they fought elections was given by Shivraj Chauhan. But the point is that the Congress announced it first, saying we are going to give an income support program for women, which is when he, quickly kind of rolled it out.
If you're saying the woman vote is what won the BJP, he is the face
Any
of that.
other BJP government will give the same.
Ladli Behna was the face of that.
Well, as in Assam, you had somebody like a Himanta Biswa
saying
Sharma
that no one is a natural claimant to anything.
In Madhya Pradesh, you don't have anybody other than Shivraj Singh Chauhan.
Look, this is a good problem for the BJP to have. I think. Sorry.
We got one more number, ETG number. We got one more ETG number as Nalin and Nisula decide. NNN में से कौन पहले बोलेगा? पहले आप में मैं चांस ले लूँ.
अभी तो वोटर बोल रहा है.
Let me. अभी तो वोटर बोल रहा है या पोलस्टर बोल रहा है, exit pollsters बोल रहा है. So let's look at the numbers again. Madhya Pradesh 117. ETG is saying 117 to the BJP. That's the top number, and there is perhaps a swing towards in favor of the Congress party there. 109 to 125. So Madhya Pradesh ETG is given it to the Congress party. So how is this happening with 116 is the halfway number? that then queers the pitch back in favor of the Congress party a little, that it puts them at
I'm
100.
sorry, everybody is hedging, except for Axis.
Everybody is hedging their bets.
Everybody is hedging.
Everybody is hedging their
Axis
bets.
has grabbed the headline today, let me be honest, and they have a pretty good track
ऐसा लगा
record.
कि see, today's Chanakya came and said 151 said headline हमारा हुआ. Axis said no, headline हमारा हुआ, because then whether they come true or not.
And you know, he polls now
So
women
look at
very,
the
very
Axis numbers. This is the Axis number 140 to 162. I think the BJP will want to take a snapshot of this and say, चलिए भाई, even if this doesn't happen, no, दिल बहलाने के लिए it was nice. There's somebody who predicted
again,
this.
I'm curious to know, will this mean that the High Command says we won this election? It doesn't matter who the Chief Minister is. We decided who the candidates are. We flew in 7 MPs, 3 ministers.
Zaka, before all this started, I was about to say that I think that if this number holds, Shivraj will be back as Chief Minister, because you have the 2024 general elections. And even when he came back, when Jyotiraditya Scindia moved to the BJP,
center,
got his 22, 23 MLAs, there were 28 bypolls to be had, which was the reason why Shivraj was again made Chief Minister. So that was a logic that was given to us, saying there is no other leader who's popular throughout Madhya Pradesh, and fortunately or unfortunately, fortunately for Mr. Chauhan, unfortunately for the party, whoever doesn't like him, they've not been able to create a leadership which is popular across the state.
No, and not just that. See, maybe after 2024 they may say, all right, see, and somewhere you have to give credit to the BJP central leadership that they actually got these heavyweights from the parliament and from the centre back down, saying, Jita ke lao, win those assemblies.
And if you win, great. If you don't,
then you are retired.
Then you don't come.
Politically retired. You are retired. Nahi jita. It was like do or die for them. Okay, we got one more number. C voter number has come through. So C voter Rajasthan numbers have come through. 71 to 91 to the Congress party. C voter is giving it to the BJP. 114 is the up number. So once again, one more pollster comes out and gives Rajasthan to the BJP. And these are big wins, runaway wins both sides. Yeah.
To say if these numbers hold, you have to say something about BJP's strategy, and it's just a sheer self-confidence. Just 3 months ago, the same strategy did not work in Karnataka. You know, they changed the old Satrap. The party Kada didn't get galvanized. They didn't have a proper chief ministerial face, and the party collapsed. The Congress had a big victory. If you were a more cautious party, you would have reversed your stance in Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan and said, okay, let's go with the old Satra.
There is one thing there which is very critical, sir. In Karnataka, there is a Lingayat vote. And there is a tall man in B.S. Yediyurappa who's a Lingayat face. And if you rub that person and his the second most strongest Lingayat faith in Karnataka, who decamps to the Congress party at the 11th hour, that hurt the BJP in that belt.
No,
that happened in Karnataka.
Organically belonging to the BJP. The Lingayat was actually Ramakrishna Hegede's vote,
Ramakrishna
which
Hegede's
moved
vote,
to the BJP after he passed on. That was his political legacy. So,
correct.
And they had a lot of hurt feelings with regard to Mr. Yediyurappa being removed.
Ishwarappa and B.S. Yediyurappa, the Lingayat
no,
vote.
but the
Why do you think they are not releasing the caste census in Karnataka?
Yes.
Because the Lingayat and the Vokkaligas, two big castes there, which are the huge ones along with the Kurba
but
and the
Anand,
SCSTs.
the second thing you've missed saying is that in Karnataka, the Congress organization is extremely strong. The Madhya Pradesh campaign was a little lackluster compared to what we saw in Karnataka and even in Rajasthan and Telangana.
Correct. Okay, so now let's... please come.
I think one thing is very clear, that the BJP's strategy of not naming the incumbent or not naming a chief ministerial face has certainly worked in the Hindi heartland. It's not worked in Karnataka, and clearly it's not working in Telangana either. So I think there is a clear north-south, I wouldn't say a divide, but the strategies of both parties, clearly something is working for the Congress in the south, in Karnataka, and if the numbers in Telangana hold, that is important for the Congress party to revive.
Objectively, because in Telangana, the BJP doesn't have much of an organization.
Of course.
And it had to change.
See,
it doesn't even have
I'll tell you what, quickly doing the
alchemy and the chemistry is all wrong.
Multi-state poll of Telangana, and we'll have Adil Singh Bopara of the Congress party also joining us. So staying with Telangana for now. The Telangana multi-poll of polls here in front of us, and let's zoom in on it and let's read it nicely as it comes up beautifully on this Alexa curtain here in front of us. It's a matrix curtain of all numbers, not binary 0 and 1, but all the numbers that they will fill in together, ladies and gentlemen, and there it is. And if we look at these numbers, nobody is clearly giving a mandate to the BRS this time. the mandate, the swing, or perhaps the intent is that it will be the Congress party, except Jan Ki Baat, which says that the BRS may still come to up to 55, and PSG is coming out and saying that it will be PSG is coming out and saying 64 seats, the upper end for the BRS. Now that's the only one which is calling the election in favor of the BRS. The rest are actually indicating it's a Congress victory this time. So the first time in the state, there will be a different party ruling the brand new state of Telangana, 10 years of BRS or 2 terms of the BRS. The third, this time around, it's the Congress party. Now, if you look at it, within the numbers, significant up for the BJP in terms of vote share. They seem to have retained at least double digits from what they did in 2019, 19% vote share in the Lok Sabha elections, here around 11 to 12% because they've got to 5 seats. And AIMIM is slipping, contesting in 9 seats, winning only 5 as per the poll numbers. So these are all important, but a big slip for the BRS, and what does that mean? Zaka.
All right, Adil Singh Bopara is now joining us. Adil, the big picture, the 2 big North Indian states, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, bulk of the polls seem to suggest that the Congress will come up short. What does that mean for your party going into 2024?
Well, let me go state by state. I think as far as Madhya Pradesh is concerned, the exit polls does not indicate the correct situation on the ground. There is, of course, decades of anti-incumbency of the Bharatiya Janata Party along with rampant corruption. So therefore, we are very hopeful for a victory in Madhya Pradesh. Now coming to Telangana, I think this has also been indicated from the exit polls which you are showing, that there will be a collapse of the BRS. And what you notice in the campaign and even otherwise, that there was collusion between the BRS and the BJP against the Congress party. The people of Telangana want a change. Of course, the corruption of the KCR's family was a case in point. So therefore, we are again very hopeful of a victory in Telangana. Now coming to Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh, our party disagrees with the indications of the exit polls for the simple reason that you saw a tug of war amongst the leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party in Rajasthan. You saw their factionalism coming to fore. Even if you ask the local leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party and their workers, you saw one faction pulling the rug from under the feet of the other faction. And coupled with the unprecedented popularity of Mr. Gehlot, so therefore we are hoping and we are very optimistic of changing the trend in Rajasthan.
In Rajasthan, 4 polls have come out. 3 of them have said that the BJP is winning, and not by a small margin, by a reasonably big margin. Now, my point is, there is a bigger problem that the Congress party is facing, that you're relevant in South India, you're coming to power in states in South India, in Karnataka being a case, and now again Telangana. Most polls seem to suggest that your party has an edge. But in the Hindi heartland, where it absolutely is essential for your party to revive, you are still coming up croppers in Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, and that's where it's a straight up BJP versus Congress fight. And unless you revive there is no hope in hell that you'll be able to beat the BJP in 2024.
Zaka, we take the exit poll numbers with a pinch of salt. But notwithstanding what I say today or what the BJP spokesperson says on your program, I think the proof of the pudding will be known to all of us on Sunday. However, please see the metrics. Please see the issues of price rise and unemployment, which the people of all these states are grappling with. And your own interviews and your reporters' own accounts will demonstrate that this was a poll issue. Okay. So therefore, notwithstanding the so-called persona of what Mr. Modi's acolytes seem to be propounding day in and day out, I think the real issues are pinching the people of this country.
The only difference, the big difference between 2018 and 2023 is that in 2018 you won these 3 North Indian states. You won Rajasthan, you won Madhya Pradesh, and you won Chhattisgarh. In 2023, you are able to retain only Chhattisgarh. Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, the bigger states, you are losing there. GVL Narasimha Rao wants to get a quick closing comment, and then we'll take a break after that. Yeah.
Yeah, Zaka, despite losing all the 3 states in 2018, North Indian states,
correct,
or Central India states, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh, we swept Lok Sabha polls in these states. In Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, it was complete sweep. So if Telangana, what you're projecting comes out to be true, I still hold my fingers crossed. Sure. But if Congress does come to power, I think we'll have another state where it will be we can beat Congress black and blue in Lok Sabha polls and possibly win all 17 like we did in Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. Because fighting a regional party would sometimes be tougher than fighting Congress for us in Lok Sabha polls. So Telangana, we can certainly improve from 4 to 15. That's a 10 seats gain is something that we can easily pocket today in case your exit poll predictions in Telangana were to come
Adil, I'll give you the final word. This is the big picture. If these trends hold, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan seems to be going the BJP way. Chhattisgarh, the Congress seems to be able to retain. Telangana, most polls suggest that the Congress has an edge, but we'll wait for Sunday to figure out if that edge is good enough to take you to majority. But the big picture is this, going into 2024, Adil, that there are no signs of Congress revival in the Hindi heartland, and that's a problem.
No, I don't agree with that hypothesis, Zaka, because local elections and national elections are fought on different parameters. And just to take my friend's point further, yes, the Congress won these 3 state elections in 2018. However, the BJP got the better of us in the 2019 polls. But having said this, I'm not running away from the fact that these elections will be a bellwether of the resonance of rather the groundswell as far as people are concerned. So therefore, it is important. But we are very, very hopeful of a victory in all these 3 states.
Okay, we'll see. Hopefully, both of you will join us on 3rd December on Sunday when the actual results come and not the exit poll results. But we'll take a break. But I think it's very clear. The broad trend is very clear. I'm sure all of our panelists here, colleagues, will agree that the broad trend seems to be Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan going the BJP way. Chhattisgarh, the Congress will retain. Telangana, I think, is still up for toss because, not least because it just concluded. The polling just concluded. So I don't think the pollsters have had enough time to actually distill the data. So that is still up in the air. But it's 2-1 out of three states as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I think, Zaka, you hit that pretty much the nail on the head. Yeah, we'll have to wait. Maybe those Telangana numbers will correct. 7:30 is usually when pollsters try and do an upgrade and a revision. Let's see.
All right, we'll take a quick break. But when we come back, the big picture, what does all of this mean? What does this portend for 2024?
It's the battle for the states, ladies and gentlemen. 5 states, the semi-final before the final, and this is the News 18 mega poll of polls. Namaste, Jai Hind. My name is Anand Narsimhan, and with me in the studios are Managing Editor CNN News 18, Zaka Jacob, on chick wall with his magic pen. But it's the voter that's weaving the magic this time around, and we've got our consulting editor Rahul Shivshankar in a different avatar here in the News 18 family, but enjoying it. His book is also going to come out. Whether he's also going to pen another story based on this story on the screens, ladies and gentlemen, we've got to wait and watch. Nalan Mehta and Nisula Hebar also with us here in the studio. We've got a whole host of guests coming through, but the story is on your screen. The edges of the screen tell the story of the 4 big states. The MNF seems to be in position to form government in Mizoram, but the story here, 2 for the BJP, 2 for the Congress party, but the larger story is the road to 2024 for PM Narendra Modi led BJP. Is it now nice and clear because of these 2 sweeps in MP and Rajasthan as per the exit polls? Result day, is it the similar scenario or a different one? We have to wait and watch, but all things remain the same as they are right now on the edges of the screen. What does that mean? Let's look at what each of these pollsters have come out to say. Let's try and understand this. We'll go state by state. This is Madhya Pradesh first up. Let's try and understand Madhya Pradesh as we zoom in closer. Most of the pollsters have given BJP the mandate. Some of them saying it's a neck and neck fight. 2 of them absolute outliers, giving a runaway win for the BJP. Today's Chanakya and Axis. These are the 2 who have given a runaway win. Let me just move out so you can go closer to the numbers and see them nicely. There you go. If you look at it, the overall average says that the BJP has more than 120 seats at least, and if they get to 120, they will touch 130. Matrice perhaps has got the median there as far as the BJP is concerned. For the Congress party, they were ahead in the race till about 2 months ago. They are ahead in the race for Polstrat, but some of the others, Inkler and ETG, but some of the others are saying, no, it's the BJP's way. Overall, if you will look at it, the poll of polls gives Madhya Pradesh to the BJP. Let's look at Rajasthan. In Rajasthan, yet again, a clear mandate for the BJP, although there are 2 outliers who have given the mandate to the Congress and that Ashok Gehlot-led government would come back into power. But the sentiment is there is anti-incumbency against the Congress party in Rajasthan, and the BJP is taking it. They're steamrolling the opposition. Let's zoom in on the numbers closely, and we see, again, despite 1 or 2 outliers there, largely the number for the BJP should be somewhere above 105. That's where it would be. Jan Ki Baat says 122, PMark says 125, ETG says 128, Axis My India says right on the money 100 because they are leaning towards the Congress party just marginally. Matrice says 130 for the BJP. Then you have CNF and C Voter, which are now on the outliers. They have come out and said, no, it's the Congress which seems to have the mandate as far as Rajasthan is concerned. But overall, the poll of poll number very clearly says, no, it is BJP. 2 big states, 2 big contributors to the Lok Sabha kitty, both of them going the BJP's way, contrary to what happened in 2018. And now let's look at Chhattisgarh. Chhattisgarh, is it an anti-incumbency vote against Bhupesh Baghel in just 5 years? Is Raman Singh coming back? Is the BJP done enough? Well, as of now, it looks like the Congress party is retaining or holding Chhattisgarh, and comfortably so. 45 is the halfway mark, 46, they are at 50, so comfortably they are going to be there. The BJP doing better than last time, the Congress slipping compared to the last time around, but the pollsters say that largely it's the Congress which has the mandate. In fact, there is nobody who has given a clear mandate to the BJP except for Axis My India, which says 46. On the borderline, C Voter says 48. But those can be considered as exceptions to the general thumb rule that Chhattisgarh is being retained by the Congress party as far as the poll of polls are concerned. Let's look at Telangana. This is the most interesting state, and we'll start with this, ladies and gentlemen, when we talk to our team here and also to our guests. In Telangana, it's a rout of the BRS. Congress is gaining in vote share as far as the pollsters are concerned, but the biggest gainer is the erstwhile party in power when the state split and then they got routed or booted out. They're coming back as the option to the BRS. That's the Congress party. Revant Reddy will be very, very happy today with the kind of results that are being shown. 63 out of 119 seats. Halfway mark is 60, 3 clear of that winning number. 59 is the halfway mark, 3 clear of that winning number at 60. 63 is the number And that's where most of the pollsters have said it is going towards the BRS, except for the CNA, who have come out and said no, Congress. There is one pollster there who has said the BRS could take it, but largely no. Everybody else has said no, it's the Congress party. And KTR was upset that the exit pollsters had started putting out the numbers at 5:30 with more than about an hour and a half to go till the final vote is cast, as far as the people standing in queue, etc. is concerned. But let's also look at Mizoram. What's happening in Mizoram? Is there a shift? MNF and the NZP, the regional parties, Congress nowhere in the fray as far as the pollsters, most of them turning around and saying it's the MNF that is coming to power there. The mandate is shifting, but it is the MNF which seems to be comfortably placed to form government. That's what some of the pollsters have said. Can we just move in quickly? Quickly move in to these numbers and have a look at it close. And there you go. That's the ZPM there and the MNF, and largely the MNF seems to have the mandate in that thing, which 21 seats are required. So is it split there, or is there a clear mandate? It looks like there is a clear mandate in favor of the MNF. That's the poll of poll numbers. Let's go across to our guests. This time straight away, Siddharth Nath Singh and T.S. Singh Devji are with us. Namaste, Jai Hind, gentlemen. Thank you very, very much. You're looking at the poll of polls, you're putting the aggregates, you have your own numbers internally. You may reject, object, and perhaps accept some of these numbers. But T.S. Singh Devji, Chhattisgarh coming back to the Congress party comfortably. आपको लग रहा है नंबर और बढ़ेगा?
Good evening and thank you for having me on your panel. Good evening to the panelists and all the viewers. और नंबर जरूर बढ़ना चाहिए. It should be closer to 60, but there is some sense of satisfaction, disappointment that we are not 60 plus. But we'll take the mandate as it comes.
छत्तीसगढ़ में सिद्धार्थ नाथ सिंह जी भी काफ़ी एक्टिव हैं, वो उनके पास वहाँ का कुछ दायित्व भी है. तो सिद्धार्थ नाथ सिंह जी, आर यू विलिंग टू एक्सेप्ट दीज नंबर्स? सम गेन फॉर द बीजेपी फ्रॉम लास्ट टाइम अराउंड, बट सरकार नहीं बना रहे आप.
Ananda, generally, you all have known me well when I was in Delhi. I have never gone on the basis of saying that, okay, what the numbers you're giving is the right number or a wrong number. But there is always a trend, or there is something which the exit poll shows, and the exit polls to me, maybe not yours, but others do show that we have an edge by 2 numbers or 3 numbers, seats more than the Congress. But what I understand as a political observer, which closely I have worked for more than 3 decades now, what I do understand is that if you are an underdog, it could be any party I'm saying, if you are an underdog and there is a trend, and it's a continuous trend, that you go on a swing, and the swing is upwards for the party, and during the last stage of polling also there is a swing, and it's a tremendous swing, then there is some kind of an undercurrent. Now, to judge an undercurrent, it's always very difficult for even a great psephologist. So, and it's quickly happening in the upward swing. And there are certain datas a surveyor can never catch up, particularly when I look at places like Bastar, which is an Naxal dominated, because the surveyors also try to leave by about 2 or 3 o'clock and say, let's get out of this place. So that's been a trend, and all surveys do that. So I perhaps maybe
you
what
feel
you're
doing
showing
much better.
is wrong, and it could be much closer. And my own assessment is that since the swing has been in favor of BJP, and it has been there for last 3 weeks before the final poll came in, BJP stands comfortably and we should be forming the government. But again, it's always debatable. T.S. Singh Devji is there. Well, I know he contested, and Sarguja, his area, BJP was not supposed to do well. We have done extremely well. In fact, he made a little comment also some time back that BJP could be doing well. And so I personally feel that BJP would be doing better in Chhattisgarh than as shown by your
T.S. Singh Devji, you want to respond to that, sir, as I bring in
is.
Zaka Jacob and Rahul Shivshankar. So Rahul will take it next, and then Zaka. But T.S. Singh Devji, respond to Siddharth Nath Singh ji, please.
I think Siddharth ji is being quite fair. He is mentioning trends, and BJP is certainly gaining from the 15 seats it had last time. Where this trend will go, I think we are taking solace in the figures that are being put forward by various surveys, that the Congress is up in almost all of them. There are variations and there are margins. I expect still for these numbers to be 55 to 60, close to 60. Well, let us see. Let us see.
Well, Mr. Deo, first of all, if these numbers hold, congratulations to you. This is Rahul Shivshankar. I mean, you're obviously coming back in a state where you have been able to establish yourselves. But just a quick question. The BJP actually did not project any leader on the other side. They sort of put, to put it loosely, Mr. Modi on the ticket. Now, that is obviously, by your own admission, helping the Bharatiya Janata Party a little bit. Do you believe that the effects of this could continue into 2024 in Chhattisgarh, the state you're in?
No disrespect at all to Mr. Modi, but state elections don't go by national leaders. Rarely. They have an impact, they have a presence, they have a draw, crowds come, they would like to come and listen to them. But eventually when the voter goes to vote, he knows that Mr. Modi will not be governing Chhattisgarh. Had it been so, it would have probably made more of a difference. So these are star campaigners who come from various parties. They deliver their speeches, they give their goals. But to impact the state elections between winning and losing, that I would discount. Any party frankly. It energizes the cadre, that is for sure, but then it energizes all party cadre when their senior leaders come.
I just want to bring
Decision
in,
is local. Last time the Congress didn't have a face, this time the BJP didn't have a face.
The whole matrix of all the exit polls, and I think it's very clear, at least in Chhattisgarh, unlike in Madhya Pradesh or Telangana, for example. In Chhattisgarh, all the pollsters, we've got 7 pollsters here in front of me, all of them, Jan Ki Baat, Axis, CNX, Voter, Matriz, Today's Chanakya, ETG, are all saying directionally that the Congress has the edge. So whether it is going to form the government at 46 or whether it's going to form the government at the upper end of 56, that's a different matter. But almost all of them are directionally saying that the Congress has the edge and the Congress is likely to retain power in Chhattisgarh. So to that extent, Siddharth Nath Singh ji, none of these polls are saying that the BJP is going to oust the Congress in Chhattisgarh, unless all of them are wrong on Sunday.
Well, I just said about the trend, you know, when you are on an upswing and the upswing continues, T.S. Singh Deoji, that swing then doesn't end here, it leads to the win. That's mostly been observed. That's the way I have put it. And well, certainly what you said, well, I will not agree to what you said about star pracharaks or the star campaigners. Our entire campaign was based on Modi ki guarantee. And give me a minute and I'll explain this to you, to your viewers also. You see, what we realize, T.S. Singh Deoji may not agree to me, but he is on record of resigning on the Pradhan Mantri Awas scheme and saying this is some money which could have been provided by the Chhattisgarh. Now, these are few things which we did exploit. Well, the elections are over, so we did exploit his letter, and which brought the attention to the voters that yes, this could have been given. Now, and then similarly, there was on the MSP on the rice, entire thing. That needed to be brought to the public that, well, it is the central government which is giving the maximum MSP. The MSP comes from the central government of, well, 1900 or 2100, and the rest comes from as a bonus. So there were a number of things which we were able to bring on the table, and the voters then started accepting. But our challenge was, how do they accept it? Which, through whom we should say. And then we realized Modi ki guarantee and is the right coining of the, our campaign. And Modi ki guarantee went like, I personally feel like went like a bullet. Okay. And that convinced the voters, because we felt very strongly that Bhupesh Baghel ji was not, gradually he was losing his credibility. And let me be honest, if it was the face of T.S. Singhdeo, it would have been something different. I'm not trying to bring differences in the Congress. It's all over now.
You know,
I'm not certainly bringing it. He comes from, he doesn't come from Allahabad,
but
he has studied in Prayagraj. So there is
born in Allahabad.
Emotional, sentimental connection with him. But I'm not trying to bring that difference, which was, it was, people were watching and the voters knew about it.
Okay.
We went ahead with it.
Let me ask Mr. Singhio that. Let's end on that note, because if all the pollsters
let me just complete it. Just give me 30 seconds. So we were able to establish that he did not enjoy that credibility which he was trying to do through various campaigns from almost 2 years back, and trying to project and say things which was not available on the ground, or it's not visible on the ground.
Okay.
So these were the advantages we took, and then Modi ji stands very strong nationally, where his credibility is very, very high. So, and then Modi ki guarantee comes in. I think that was the clinching part.
So Mr. Singhio, I'll give you the final word. Your sparring partner on the other side has even gone to the extent of saying that had your face been projected, Congress would have perhaps got an even bigger majority. But having said that, all the polls seem to indicate that the Congress will come back. So the bigger question is, will the incumbent chief minister remain, or will it be a new chief minister? Because we all know what happened in 2018.
I must thank
what will happen in 2023?
for his. I will thank Siddharth for his sentiment, but please don't get me into trouble. I tend to get into trouble. So that apart.
No, certainly not. Certainly not.
Jay, we are very clear this time.
I am a very
what
frank
happened
debater,
in the last
so
5 years.
Speak very frankly.
Yeah, go on, Mr. Theo. Yeah.
So, last 5 years we had this 2.5 year thing going around, and that was very uncomfortable. It brought about situations which should not have come around, and consciously we have sat together and talked this out and said that we must not allow this sort of a situation to ever come up. And whatever the High Command decides, the party seniors, whatever they decide, we will all abide by that, and we have no difference of opinion on that. We all of us sat together. There is this core committee, and we sat with Shailja ma'am. So there will be no issue on that.
No, so are you saying 2.5
and whatever responsibility
is not acceptable to you? You want the whole 5?
2.5 was, when it came in the media and there were questions throughout, and how do you answer them? What do you say? The High Command has never said there was any such agreement or any such decision. Bhupesh Bhai never said there was any such decision. I never said there was any such decision. So this uncertainty among the people, that leads to a bad atmosphere. Okay. And we are very conscious about that. That must never happen.
Okay.
That must never happen.
So, Mr. Singhio,
whatever decisions are there, they should be clear cut.
All right, Mr. Singhio, Mr. Siddharth Singh, thank you very much for joining us. We'll see how this plays out. But I think this 2.5 thing might be interesting, because in Karnataka also they're supposedly on this whole formula of.
No, but he's a perfect gentleman. You have to give him that. There are very few leaders who are cut of that skin in the political class today across political parties.
Very refined.
And very refined and fantastic, and that's why lots of respect and lots of love for him. Now let's try and see. Let's more numbers. Yes, let's see. Madhya Pradesh. If you see the screen, ladies and gentlemen, the edges of your screen, the BJP has gone up to 130. 130, that's the number. Why? Let's see some of the other pollsters and what numbers they put. CNX has come out with its number. Let's come in close and let's see what numbers they are saying. CNX is also coming out and saying it's an overwhelming mandate in favor of the BJP. They seem to have revised their numbers and they are going further up. 140 to 159. So once again, CNX has also come out and said,
I think somebody is just shorting the market. I'm really thinking about
shorting the market. No, but I just feel, no, I'll tell you what. One gets a sense that this vote share which is happening If they're saying that there is a 3 to 5% difference in the vote share, largely 1%, 1.5%. Now, if it is 3% or 4%,
then it's a decisive victory.
Seat runs
but
away.
had they declared this number earlier?
No, somewhere I got the sense that CNX had
given the edge to the Congress and then they've revised the number.
But how can they revise it? Because it's not as if the election is taking place today.
Exactly.
So I can't understand.
I think one of the factors that Anand discussed, and I think at least the Axis number seems to indicate why such a large majority they are projecting for the BJP.
6% gap.
Because there's a 6% gap in vote share between the BJP and the Congress. Remember last time around, the BJP had a greater vote share but by 0.13%. And in that, they got fewer seats than the Congress. If they have a 6% vote share difference between BJP and Congress, that's almost like a landslide.
And it's a two-way contest. No? So, अब two-way में अगर किसी के पास 6% ज़्यादा वोट से सारी सीटें
I know that on polling day, all the BJP teams guys, the backroom guys, are constantly sending me photographs of women lining up.
Yeah.
You know, they just assume that all these ladies were voting.
No, there is an important strategy. Can we go back to that women number that we started?
Actually.
We started the poll of polls broadcast with, and this is what is interesting. This is the story here in this Madhya Pradesh election. Yeah, Zaka.
Yeah, 18.3 lakh more women voted this time. That's a 2% of the entire voter turnout.
This is like Bihar in 2020.
It's like Bihar. It's exactly like Bihar. In 2020, after the first phase, we were all convinced it's a wave election, RJD is winning. But in phases 2 and 3,
but even in Rajasthan, more women than men have voted actually. That's also a
this is a phenomenal number because you're essentially looking at 2.72 crore women this time around as opposed to 2.41 crore. If an extra 2% have voted, and again, a large number of them, the presumption is they've voted for the BJP because of Ladli Behna and all the other women-centric schemes, then that is a decisive
there's a whole
swing.
chapter in Nalin's book actually about the woman vote. So Nalin, I think they actually have gone in with a very considered strategy because historically the woman vote has been going up. So they've become a very important vote bank.
Absolutely, Rahul. I mean, historically, you're right. 2019 was the first election in Indian history where more women voted than men. And historically, women always voted much more for Congress at the national level as opposed to the BJP. That trend began to change about 10 years ago, and the gap started, the trend line started sort of changing on the map. And once women started voting more than men, and as the numbers
because of the three empowering schemes, some would say.
It's not just that, it's ideological change that you give welfare policies, but also I think BJP and the central government especially has bridged the gap between national parties and regional parties in terms of last mile delivery. You know, there is a feeling that, okay, these guys have announced it, we will get it. So that faith is not there in a lot of other parties.
And this
that
this you see when you start seeing disaggregated data on caste. You see this, for example, just in the last elections that we had, a lot was made about the Jat vote shifting, right?
That's right.
And then you see how older Jats voted, how younger Jats voted, how women voted, and the women were overwhelmingly in favor of BJP in the last UP election.
Well, I think,
we've got America Narayanan and Tuhin Sinha also with us. Tuhin Sinha National
just
BJP. We'll go to them after Audhya.
I think we should perhaps look at the larger picture now that is emerging. I think these results, exit poll projections are beginning to settle. So maybe we can start sort of taking the conversation to the larger canvas.
Yes, we will. We will do that. We'll just also do a quick recap of the multi-poll of polls like we did. America Narayanan with us. And Tuhin Sinha should join us any moment now. Tuhin Sinha hails from that region, which is also cast its ballot, and he had done a story around the tribals of that region. So we will get him to weigh in on that the moment he is back with us. We just lost him there momentarily. But America Narayanan, Namaskaram. Let me ask you, Telangana, big comeback for the Congress party into Telangana. The first time in the new state that they are voting a different party as per the exit pollsters right now, the poll of polls. Chhattisgarh retention, but big wins for the BJP in MP and Rajasthan as per the exit pollsters. What does that imply for the Congress party from a larger point of view, Lok Sabha 2024 strategy-wise?
Vanakkam. First thing is, it clearly shows that BJP is contesting with Ovasi. Modi is contesting with Ovasi for the last or third place in Telangana. And I remember Mr. Shah campaigning door to door in a municipal election in Telangana. They were supposed to be number 2. Now they are contesting with Ovasi in for the last place, number 1. So the BJP is being wiped out, and as in the past people used to say BJP is a North Indian party, and that's getting to be true, and through this election clearly that they are getting wiped out in Telangana, and the Congress coming to power in Telangana as per the exit polls. And I think that's a major change, and so I think there is no more BJP flags flying past India's down south. And when people say BJP does not understand South, I think it shows up right now. Number one.
Historically, the
Number
BJP
two,
in erstwhile Andhra Pradesh, America, Narayanji, they had gone up to about 12 to 18% vote share, and they have slipped in the erstwhile Andhra Pradesh. That is Andhra and Telangana today put together. The other thing is, sir, the BJP was nowhere in Telangana. The BJP in 2018 had 7% vote share and 1 seat. Now they have 5 seats and nearly 12 to 15% vote share. In Lok Sabha 2019 also they had 19% vote share in Telangana. The biggest losers are the BRS, biggest gainers are the Congress. Tuin Sinha is with us. Tuin Sinha,
the point
the
is,
south of the Vindhyas, BJP is irrelevant is what America and Narayanan is saying. Let BJP respond to what you said. You made a strong point saying south of the Vindhyas, BJP is irrelevant. Yes, Tuin Sinha.
Well, that's not true, Anand, at all. We have been in power in Karnataka on 2 occasions, and even in Telangana, the results this time are going to be surprising. We are going to have our highest number of seats altogether. You know, I was listening to you on Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. If you may allow me some time, I would just like to speak on Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh also, if that's possible. You know, in entire Hindi heartland, BJP is going to sweep all the 3 states. When obviously it could be close in Chhattisgarh, but the important point over here is that if in Madhya Pradesh we are getting around 140 seats,
One second. In Chhattisgarh, you are 12 seats behind as far as the poll of polls are concerned. You are at 38. Halfway mark is 45. Winning, you're going to have 46. Congress is at 50.
What I'm saying is that, in smaller states, be it Chhattisgarh, be it Himachal, be it Jharkhand, the swing happens very quickly. And like Siddharth Nath Singh Ji was mentioning, the upswing was very, very visible in the last few weeks. And with the kind of performance that we are expecting in Madhya Pradesh this time, if we are getting 140 odd seats in Madhya Pradesh, the effect will also percolate in Chhattisgarh. So Chhattisgarh might be close, but I am very confident that we will win Chhattisgarh, because in smaller states it does not take time for the results to completely turn around. Madhya Pradesh, we know for a fact, and Madhya Pradesh, look at the difference that has made. In Madhya Pradesh, the point is 1.3 crore out of the total 2.7 crore women were directly benefited by the schemes of Mamaji starting 2008.
Mr. Sinha, look, I mean, obviously, you're expecting to do much better than what the exit polls seem to be suggesting, but let me bring in Mr. America Narayanan. Mr. America Narayanan, the problem is that the Congress party made this entire election about itself. The Congress said that, look, Mr. Modi is no longer delivering on the aspirations of the people, number one. Number two, his association with Mr. Adani, etc., is cheating the Indian public. Number three, fundamentally, that we are now the party that has an alternative view and can lead this country. Coming out of this election with these projections, that narrative needs to be revised. You tried to counter Mr. Modi and the Bharatiya Janata Party by thinking of a caste census. That hasn't clicked if the Hindi belt result is taken at face value here. And secondly, most importantly, you went ahead. You went ahead with this entire card about, how your schemes, your guarantees will deliver people out of their destitution, which Mr. Modi has caused. Now, all of that doesn't seem to have been borne out. What does that do for you? Where does that leave you?
First thing, I'm glad at least you have agreed that south of India's, they are wiped out. Now let's talk about the other states, and see, on the poll of polls, it's a good indicator, I agree with that, but whenever you do that, you need to throw the extremes out, because certain agencies, the polls are bought. So you need, if you throw the exits, the extreme cases of two polls out, both up and down, you will see both the larger states of Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan is going neck to neck. I am willing to bet today that in Madhya Pradesh, as you have been saying and pushing the 140, will not happen for BJP. It's going to be much closer in both Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, and in all probability in both the states. I'm not saying who will form the government.
So Mr. Nayan, are you suggesting that
let me finish up. Let me finish up, please. The Congress will win majority of the seats, and as usual, against the mandate of the people, BJP may buy, as they have bought, buy, borrow or steal the MLAs and form the government. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. But I can tell you without any hesitation, Congress will be the first state in all these two states, including Chhattisgarh and Telangana.
Okay, so just very quickly, and I'm not going to take much more of your time, very quickly, sir. Are you suggesting that if after 18 years in power, the Congress runs a tight race with the BJP, you think that's a good result, number one? In Rajasthan, if you get pipped at the post by the BJP, that's okay, it's satisfactory because you get some sort of a moral victory. I don't understand. What do you exactly mean? A tight race was not supposed to be predicted by the Congress. You were supposed to win.
Well, no, I think you are trying to project because I think you have your agenda, and I don't blame you. And I know he who pays the piper calls for the tune. But coming back,
no, actually, that's
in
not
terms
that's not
of
Mr. Narayan.
If it is Modi ji,
I never went personal with you, sir, please.
No, let me finish up. No, I'm not. Did I say you're talking
what
for
are you
BJP?
insinuating, sir? Please.
If the shoe fits, that's
What
okay.
are you insinuating?
I said he who pays the piper calls for the tune. That's all I said.
Come on,
it could be about the polls.
Let's
could be
keep
about
this
anything.
civil. Let's keep this civil. If you have an answer, give it.
No,
if you don't,
I am keeping
point,
it civil, and I did not accuse you. Please. So let's move on. I did say he who pays the piper. I should be for the exit polls and everything else. But coming back, the polls today is between a regional leader and it is Modi versus Rajasthan Gehlot. So when it came to that, I think people will choose Gehlot. Now, if it is at the regional level like this, in a national level, we don't know what's going to happen. The last election also, the people voted differently. I'm willing to accept that. But I can tell you, Modi's image has been challenged and broken very clearly behind India's. In all probability,
well, to Insina respond.
Well, you know, Anand, one of the factors which we have all missed out, let me say this with responsibility. We have been at the center for 9.5 years. We have been in power in Madhya Pradesh for more than 18 years now. And yet, there is no anger against the BJP. The anger is against the Congress party. Mind you, if you travel on the ground, there are some areas where the anger against Congress party is so large because they have been repeatedly misleading people on almost everything. Whether it is the caste survey, their duplicity on these issues, on economy today, look at the GDP figures, all kinds of, lies about Adani that they have been spreading while doling out business to Adani in Madhya Pradesh, in Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan.
I tell you what, Twinsina, let's look at the larger,
in their own states, they have been doling out business to Adani while vilifying it.
Let's look at the larger picture. Media narratives, political narratives aside, if you look at the numbers that are reflecting on the screen right now at the poll polls, it's just showing that the people are very clear who they want to vote. They don't like the local person. They look at the next best alternative and vote for that person. In certain cases, if you bring the might and muscle of your entire Sangathan, that yields results. Because you were trailing in Madhya Pradesh, sir, not so long ago. And today, if these numbers are reflecting, that's because you had to parachute all your MPs who are sitting in the center, give them a kick and whip them up. Ask them to pull up their socks and say, win these assembly constituencies in your parliamentary constituency, or you face political retirement. That's literally what was told to 5 to 6 of these MPs. That's a reality. In Chhattisgarh, what has happened to you? In Chhattisgarh, sir, in Chhattisgarh, the might and muscle of the BJP has not been able to prevail over Bhupesh Baghel. So clearly what he is doing right, he may have mimicked or perhaps mirrored most of the welfare schemes that the BJP is putting at the center. In Telangana, sir, after Hyderabad and after 19% vote share in Lok Sabha, if you are struggling to get 11%, 12% vote share, it's a reflection, sir. It's a reflection that, sir, beyond a certain limit, the Modi, Prime PM Modi on the ticket does not work. Local leaders have to be strong enough.
Anand, politics is an evolving situation. If after 18 years, mind you, today in most state governments, anti-incumbency sets
We are Shivraj Singh
after
ji
5
speaking.
years.
I'll come back to you, sir. Please stay with us. Shivraj Singh ji speaking.
कि सरकार की अनेकों योजनाएं जिनने जनता की जिंदगी बदली है और विकास, ये स्पष्ट बताते थे कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी भारी बहुमत से जीतेगी। मैं तो हमेशा आत्मविश्वास से भरा रहा और मैंने सदैव कहा कि जो एग्जिट पोल कह रहा है वो लगभग जन भावनाएं हैं और हम भारी बहुमत से जीतेंगे।
क्या लगता है लाडली बहना का कमाल है कि
देखो, कांटे की टक्कर, लाडली बहनों ने सारे कांटे निकाल दिए, कोई कांटा बचे ही नहीं। मैंने ऐसा चुनाव नहीं देखा कि जहां हम जाते थे पुरुषों की भीड़ तो होती थी लेकिन उससे ज्यादा बहनें आती थी, बेटियां आती थी, बच्चे भी आते थे, और बहनों का जो लाड़ और प्यार मिला वो अद्भुत और अभूतपूर्व है। अभी भी मैं कई जगह जाता हूं तो बहनें दौड़ के जाती और ये कहती कि भैया अपन जीत रहे हैं। वो ये नहीं कहती कि बीजेपी की सरकार बनेगी कि आपकी सरकार बनेगी, वो ये कहती कि अपन जीत रहे हैं। अपन जीत रहे हैं मतलब बीजेपी की जीत में बहनों को अपनी जीत दिखाई दे रही है, और इसलिए लाडली बहना ने सचमुच में चमत्कार किया है।
वोटिंग के बाद हमारे बीजेपी की भी कई नेताओं से बात हुई, अनौपचारिक चर्चा में भी आप 140 तक पहुंचे, बीजेपी के अन्य नेता भी 140 तक नहीं पहुंच पा रहे, 120, 25, 130 तक ही पहुंच पा रहे थे। लेकिन ये तो मतलब जिस तरीके से बताया जा रहा है आप 40 तक सबसे हाईएस्ट आपका था, लेकिन अब ये तो उम्मीद से भी थोड़ा ज़्यादा।
देखो, मैंने केवल संभल के बोला था, लेकिन मैंने कई जगह ये कहा कि जिस ढंग से बहनों का स्नेह और प्रेम मिल रहा है और जनता की जैसी भीड़ उमड़ रही है, नतीजे अप्रत्याशित आएंगे, अभूतपूर्व आएंगे।
सर, कांग्रेस भी दावा कर रही है, हालांकि
अब मुझे कुछ कहना नहीं है, उनको दावा करने का अधिकार है भाई, उनको दावा करने दीजिए।
फुल क्रेडिट टू लाडली बहना। लाडली बहनाओं ने आकर कहा अपन जीत रहे हैं। सो ही हैज ओपनली कम आउट एंड सेड इट्स द वुमेन वोटर्स दैट हैव सेव्ड और हेल्प्ड द बीजेपी गेट अ हिस्टोरिकल मैंडेट। ही सेइंग आई वाज कंजर्वेटिव, आई फील अप्रत्याशित विक्ट्री। That means the best ever performance for Shivraj Singh Chauhan at the helm or for the BJP in Madhya Pradesh is what he is saying. Let's quickly look at
of this game. If these numbers hold, I mean, after 18 years to come back with this kind of a mandate, I believe, I'll check with our team back end, but if he gets 150 plus, it is the biggest mandate that the BJP
he's
has
got 140 in the past, 140 odd in the past. That's what the question was asked
so
of him.
I mean, the point is that, you know, if after 18 years for him to come back with this kind of a renewed mandate, he is the man of the tournament, or he's jumped the gun with this bite. We will know.
Vishwas Sarang ji is with us. Vishwas Sarang ji, namaste. राहुल शिवशंकर, जाका जेकब, निस्तुला हैबार और नलिन मेहता हमारे साथ हैं। मैं आनंद नरसिम्हन आपसे प्रश्न पूछ रहा हूं। अभी हमने मामा जी की बात सुनी, मुख्यमंत्री जी की। उन्होंने कहा लाडली बहनाओं ने बढ़ चढ़कर वोट दिया और कहा अपन जीत रहे हैं, और अप्रत्याशित जीत की बात कर रहे हैं शिवराज सिंह जी। आप मान दें, क्योंकि कांग्रेस कह रही है सरकार हमारी बन रही है,
पार्टी सरकार बना रही है। अब कांग्रेस को तो अपने काउंटिंग एजेंट भेजने ना, 3 तारीख को उनके काउंटिंग एजेंट तो मिल जाए उन्हें, इसलिए उनको इस तरह के दावे करने पड़ेंगे। मैं पूरे दावे के साथ कह सकता हूं जो हमारे मुख्यमंत्री शिवराज सिंह चौहान जी ने कहा, हम कंफर्टेबल मेजॉरिटी के साथ सरकार बना रहे हैं। भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार मध्य प्रदेश में बन रही है, कहीं कोई डाउट नहीं है।
अब से 3 से 6 महीने पहले की बात है सर, कहा जा रहा था कि 104, 105 पर इंटरनल सर्वे है, वो कहीं 120 तक पहुंचने में तकलीफ होगी। वहां से 140 का आंकड़ा कैसे हो पाया? क्या ऐसा कर दिया पिछले 4-5 महीनों में?
देखिए
ये भी अभी भी अनुमानित है सर, ये एग्जिट पोल्स है, मैं कहूंगा। हाँ जी,
हाँ जी, एग्जिट पोल है, पर ये एग्जिट पोल में तब्दील होंगे। ध्यान रखिए, मध्य प्रदेश में भाजपा की सरकार बनेगी। मैं निवेदन करना चाहता हूं मध्य प्रदेश की भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार की कथनी और करनी में समानता है। हमने जो कहा है वो किया है और ये जनता ने स्वीकार किया है। सबसे महत्वपूर्ण बात यह है, अभी लाडली बहना योजना की बात हो रही थी। लाडली बहना योजना केवल किसी बहन को 1250 रुपए देना नहीं है, महिला सशक्तिकरण के प्रति हमारी जो कटिबद्धता है उसको स्थापित करने वाली ये योजना है। हमने युवाओं के लिए काम किया, हमने किसान के लिए काम किया, हमने मजदूर के लिए काम किया, हमने गांव के लिए काम किया, हमने शहर के लिए काम किया, हमने खलियान के लिए काम किया। मध्य प्रदेश में समग्रता के साथ समेकित रूप से हमने विकास किया और उसी का परिणाम है कि जनता ने यह स्वीकार किया है कि मध्य प्रदेश में भाजपा की
शिवराज सिंह जी तो साफ कह दिया कि लाडली बहनाओं ने बचा लिया, लाडली बहनाओं ने जिता दिया, ये कह रहे हैं वो।
नहीं, लाडली बहना योजना का निश्चित रूप से बहनों में एक अलग विश्वास है।
राहुल शिवशंकर हमारे साथ है। राहुल, यू वांट टू आस्क?
नमस्ते जी, जरा हमें बताइए कि आपको मोदी जी और अमित शाह जी और जो तमाम मंत्री हैं उनकी जरूरत इतनी क्यों पड़ी सर?
तो इसमें गलती क्या है? देखिए, यही तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सबसे बड़ी यूएसपी, हम काडर बेस्ड पार्टी हैं और यही तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सबसे बड़ी खूबी है कि हमारा सर्वोच्च नेता यदि नरेंद्र मोदी जी चुनाव होता है तो वो भी पूरी तन्मयता के साथ जनता के बीच जाते हैं और मेहनत करते हैं और हमारा बूथ स्तर का कार्यकर्ता भी काम करता है। यही तो काडर बेस्ड पार्टी का सबसे बड़ा गुण होता है। मुझे लगता है इसको तो अप्रिशिएट करना चाहिए।
अगर ये रुझान रहे
हर चुनाव में माननीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी, लेट मी फिनिश, और हर चुनाव में माननीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी, माननीय अमित शाह जी और हमारे केंद्रीय नेतृत्व का हमें मार्गदर्शन मिलता है। ये तो हम सबके लिए बहुत सौभाग्य का विषय है कि हमारे पास वो नेता है जो पूरी दुनिया को दिशा दिखा रहे हैं, नरेंद्र मोदी जी। तो वो मध्य प्रदेश में क्यों नहीं आएंगे? ये तो हमारे लिए बड़ा गुण है, हमारी बहुत बड़ी, मैं मानता हूं कि बहुत बड़ी हमारी उपलब्धि है
जी। ऑब्वियसली ये तो बहुत बड़ी आपकी, दिस वुड बी अ वेरी वेरी बिग विक्ट्री, लेट मी टेल यू सर, एंड इफ इट्स गोइंग टू बी एट द लेवल्स दैट आर बीइंग प्रिडिक्टेड देन इट परहैप्स वुड इवन बी अ रिकॉर्ड। बट लेट मी जस्ट क्विकली आस्क यू, ये किसकी जीत होगी? शिवराज जी की जीत होगी या मोदी जी की जीत होगी? और अगर शिवराज जी की है या संगठन की है, क्या शिवराज जी वापस आएंगे एज चीफ मिनिस्टर? उनको
देखिए
न्योता मिलेगा
पार्टी की तरफ से? देखिए ये तो मुझे लगता है ये आपके लेवल पर कैमरे के उस तरफ बैठकर ये क्वेश्चन हो सकता है, ये स्पेकुलेशन मीडिया का हो सकता है, पर सही मायने में ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी के प्रति जनता का विश्वास है और मुझे इस बात की बहुत प्रसन्नता है कि हम फिर से सरकार बना रहे हैं। ये हमारे लिए
और शिवराज जी मुख्यमंत्री बनेंगे
काम करने की। देखिए, मैं ये कहने का अधिकृत नहीं हूं। मुझे लगता है पहले ही ये कहा गया है कि संसदीय बोर्ड इसका निर्णय लेगा, मैं इसके लिए अधिकृत नहीं हूं।
अच्छा, विश्वास सारंग जी, मेरा अंतिम प्रश्न आपसे यह है कि जो सांसद लाए गए थे, जिनको कहा गया कि आप अपने अपने सांसद में जाइए, संसदों में जाइए, सांसद क्षेत्र में जाइए, वहाँ के असेंबली सीट्स पर काम कीजिए, उससे क्या फर्क पड़ा है? या कहीं उनको ये मैसेज था कि या तो तुम जिताओ, मामा जी की मदद करो, या फिर भूल जाओ, पॉलिटिकल रिटायरमेंट ले लो?
देखिए, ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी में नहीं होता कि चमकाने की अड़ीबाजी की राजनीति नहीं होती। भारतीय जनता पार्टी, मैं निवेदन करूंगा, हम कलेक्टर लीडरशिप में विश्वास रखते हैं और हमारे लिए पार्टी की रीति नीति के माध्यम से जो जनता की सेवा करे, विनेबल है, वो हमारे लिए बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। और ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी की एक अच्छी रणनीति थी कि हम सभी लोगों को लड़ा। फिर मैं निवेदन करूंगा कि ये हमारी यूएसपी है कि केंद्र में बैठे हुए केंद्रीय मंत्री को भी यदि पार्टी नेतृत्व यदि आदेश देते हैं कि आप असेंबली का चुनाव लड़िए, तो वो सहर्ष आते हैं। यही तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी है और यही तो हमारा काडर है और इसीलिए तो अब पार्टी विद डिफरेंस हमें कहा जाता है।
Vishwas Sarang ji, thank you very much for joining us. So there you go. Shivraj Singh Chauhan coming out and saying that it's the Ladli Behna, the women voters, and of course Vishwas Sarang saying that it's collective leadership and collective effort that's been put. They really put their might and muscle into Madhya Pradesh.
But you know, being a woman, I would like to point out one thing, that while the parties think that they can now increasingly depend on a supposedly casteless woman's vote, they are both the national parties and even especially the BJP, I would say, in these elections has been pretty backward in terms of giving tickets to women, which is political participation, which is the deepest kind of political participation that you can ensure. So we've done a couple of stories on this. In Madhya Pradesh, BJP has given only 27 tickets to women, Congress has given 30.
Why do you think is that, Nistura? Do you think that it comes down
let's
to winnability.
Let's ask
and women
Tuhin.
can't
Tuhin is
win.
also with us. So let's ask.
No,
the
let me
BJP
give you all
this.
the numbers. In Chhattisgarh, BJP has given 15 tickets to women. Congress has given 18. In Rajasthan, BJP has only given 19 tickets to women and 27 to Congress. And they had a chief ministerial face who was a woman in Rajasthan, and they have pushed her
So
to
you
the
need the
background
women as
well.
a vote bank, but not as candidates.
No, they're not as candidates, and that has to change.
Yeah, Tuhin, please respond.
Well, Anand, before the elections, winnability sometimes tends to take primacy over all other factors, but merely to address it, you know, the sole reason behind the women's reservation bill, which will come into effect in the next few years, is to address this disparity. But at the time of elections, you know, winnability tends to take
But are you
precedence
saying
over all
that
the other factors.
women can't win you an election? Is that what you're saying? Because that's a
No,
pretty
I'm not
radical
saying that at all.
statement to make.
Parties,
like the
especially
same
which call
question is
themselves
being
cadre-based
asked,
parties, won't the cadre get behind any candidate fielded by the party?
That's a very good question.
The same question is asked when we don't give give tickets to a certain community. But the fact is, you know, at the time of election, the particular reach of a person, the abilities, the resources of the person holds primacy over all the other factors.
No, you're comparing
I think
apples and
we are all
oranges there.
aware of the fact that this
You're comparing
disparity-
apples and oranges there, and especially when you're talking about women as being a casteless sort of a vote bank for you, I would really think that women in a cadre-based party, whichever candidate the party has put forward, the cadre would get behind that candidate because they've got the party ticket, they've got the B form from the party. So that's what we keep hearing about political parties, that everybody is behind the candidate, the whole organization is working to make sure you win elections. So so this winnability thing doesn't cut ice there.
Tuhin?
Ma'am, your suggestion is well taken. I think, you know, in the next elections, we will strive to increase the number of seats.
No, I'll tell you,
And,
one of the big
for
reasons
women.
is that so far the culture has not been to
I think-
groom ground up leaders on ground with any political party. Now that will have to compulsorily change going forward because of the
there
legislation.
has to be a capacity building
and
within
that needs to
political
happen,
parties.
and that is something everybody is in agreement with. But let's now open this up and quickly look at the larger picture. What does this mean for the BJP Lok Sabha 2024? And credit for the local leaders, for the Sangathan, or credit to PM Modi? Tuhin.
Is the question to me?
Yes, Tuhin.
Anand, credit to both, credit to the people of this country who have refused to be misled by the Congress party. You know, after, like I mentioned, normally in a state election, anti-incumbency sets in after 5 years. If after 18 years, people know which is the party which stands for them, which is the party which delivers on the ground, it also
No, but
shows that
that's the Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan. See, Chhattisgarh.
I'm going to answer.
Yes, America Narayanan.
Please
Yeah.
let me come in.
Here is the point. Here is the thing.
Okay.
America Narayanan would say for the Congress party that they have retained Chhattisgarh, they are winning Telangana. So what does that indicate then, Tuhin Sinha? Yes.
Chhattisgarh is also going to throw a surprise.
You asked what does it do for. Let me answer the question directly, please. Let them not interrupt me.
Yes, America Narayanan.
Please.
What does this mean?
First thing is, you asked very directly, what does it mean for Modi? They clearly disrespected Mr. Chauhan in Madhya Pradesh, and they did not announce his name until the third or fourth round of candidates. And in spite of that, the Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister, from what your poll seems to show, has delivered. So Modi factor is not a major factor. It's declining. As a matter of fact, in most of the parties, the central leadership tries to cut the state leadership into size. Modi was not able to make that. They tried hard in Madhya Pradesh, and the result went against Modi. Who knows? Mr. Chauhan may be projected as the Prime Minister later on if these things happen. So it just shows Modi factor is not a major factor, even in Madhya Pradesh, where they have a BJP
America ji,
carrot.
with due
So
respect,
I
sir.
answered your question directly.
You make a powerful
Congress
argument,
has a
sir,
good
but
sense of
comes
humor.
too rich coming from a party whose state chief minister refused the national presidency because he wanted to be state chief minister.
I'm just going to paraphrase what Wasim Akram said in a different context just recently. I want to have what they're having. I want to have what they're having. Yeah. So,
Well, Tuhin, you want to respond to that? See, in the south, you've not been able to make inroads.
You know, in adverse situations, even in adverse situations, the Congress tends to have a good sense of humor. So, you know, enjoy the joke. But the point is, Modi ji today is the tallest leader in the country, and he has given a new direction to the party. So, if he leads the campaign and if his
Why did you
energy
announce
levels
him in
is
the third or
unmatched
fourth
by
round,
any
Mr.
other
Chauhan?
leader, if his energy levels is unmatched by any other
Why
leader of
did
the
you not
country,
give him
he
the
has
seat,
every
even the first
right
round,
to
the
lead the
respect he
campaign in
deserves?
every constituency, in every state. But that also, that does not mean we don't have a second rung of leadership. In fact, BJP is the party which has a very well developed second rung of leadership across the country, and that is also where the Congress continues to suffer, and the reason for Congress is repeated
that is also
frustration.
rich, especially coming in the case of Rajasthan and in Madhya Pradesh and in Chhattisgarh, where you don't have an alternative to the erstwhile chief ministers or the incumbents. As far as the BJP is concerned, you don't have a clear name. So if you have groomed a second rung leadership, we don't see it as of now. But just bring it.
इमर्ज करते हैं।
नहीं वो
मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल दे रहा हूं।
रातों-रात इमर्ज करने वाली बात ठीक है, लेकिन चुनाव से पहले तो नहीं घोषित किया ना अपने नया लीडर।
मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल दे रहा हूं।
हाँ जी बोलिए।
मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल दे रहा हूं। मैं सिर्फ आपको एक एग्जांपल दे रहा हूं। दो साल पहले आप उत्तराखंड के बारे में यही कहते थे। आप 2 साल पहले
Please talk in English. I do not understand it.
Anand, you used to say the same thing about our leadership in Uttarakhand, that we don't have a leadership in Uttarakhand 2 years ago. Today we have a wonderful leader in Pushkar Singh Dhami. The same is going to happen with Rajasthan. We don't take time to produce.
So you are saying Vasundhara Raje is not going to be chief minister? 1 minute. Yes, Mr. Raibad. Finally, we got to take a break, but quickly bringing it back. Takeaways for 2024. We'll then pitch it at 9 p.m. After the break. But quickly, what does this imply?
Takeaways for 2024.
What does this mean? What does this mean? Congress, BJP, Modi, Rahul Gandhi.
The biggest consequences are for the Congress, I think, from these elections, because they have these were the set of elections which was theirs to lose and win. The win in Telangana, as I had said before, will be the most significant for the Congress. It has its big advantages of resource comfort that they will have. Secondly, the fact that a lot of the people who were supposed to go to the BJP will not, and they've regained one big state. But also, they will now start creating a lot of insecurity among the India alliance partners who are big regional parties. Right. There will be a problem there.
Right. Just go back to that graphic that we opened the Magic Wall session with, the Madhya Pradesh women voters. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a very short break, but that writing on the wall, can we cut to that please? That writing on the wall that Zaka Jacob called up on the magic wall with his magic pen, that's the story, ladies and gentlemen, the women voters. That's the story of the success. We'll come back and dwell on that on the other side. Stay with us.